I timed that wrong. Hello everyone, welcome to the first day of MODCON. My goodness. I feel a bit like a radio host. I was gonna try and fade the song out. Might be a little too loud. Hold on. Hello everyone and welcome to the first day of MODCON 2026. If you do not know who I am, my name is right here on the screen. Where's my pointer? Here's my pointer. I'm Jillion. And if you didn't know that, you can see my face twice today. Everyone, welcome to MODCON. I think I've already said that. I'm very nervous. We got a lot of things going on. Today, we are here to show off the hard work of the Paradox modding community. We're here to raise some money for charity. We're here to give some stuff away. And by stuff, I mean keys. Kevin, thank you for the 20 donated to the Video Game History Foundation. Anonymous, thank you for the 20 CHF. I don't know what currency that is. This is something I'm finding out streaming on YouTube. I don't know currencies. My goodness, we've already raised $64 for the Video Gaming History Foundation and knocked my little intro speech totally off kilter. How about we try this again? How about I start? Okay, everyone, welcome to MODCON. This is the 5th MODCON that has existed. I saw some people, members of my normal community, asking, what is MODCON? And that is such a good question. MODCON is a multi-day live streaming event that is hosted annually. This is the 5th year that MODCON has existed. First time I'm hosting, but the 5th time that it's happened. Where Paradox modders from across many different games submit trailers and sneak peeks of the mods that they are working on. In addition to that, we raise money for charity, and we give away some keys, and it's a whole grand event, and it's honestly one of the coolest things I've been a part of since I've become a content creator, so it's very exciting. Yes, I am a MODCON host today. Isn't that fun? And I'm gonna... So if you are one of my normal viewers, this is going to be a little bit different of a stream. I am not reading alerts today. You might notice that they're turned off. I appreciate it very much, and I see them. All the stuff happening on my Twitch account. I'm live on Twitch and YouTube again as well. And also, I'm gonna be pretty quiet. There's not going to be a lot of me while the trailers are playing. So if you're expecting that, just putting that out there right now. So, let me tell you a little bit about the charity that we are fundraising for today. If you are interested in making a donation, we are fundraising for the Video Gaming History Foundation, and that is happening over on my YouTube page. I believe the button should be below the live chat widget. I'm not 100% sure. Let me check. Yeah. There's a little blue donate button to preserve video game history. If you didn't know, video games, despite being a relatively new art form compared to things like sculpture, literature, paintings, whatever, we've already lost a couple of them. And so the Video Game History Foundation's goal is to continue to preserve both physical and digital archives of video games. You can actually visit them. They have a library in California, but if you can't make it to California, they have a digital archive as well. And yeah, you can learn more about them at gamehistory.org. I've got a bunch of mods today who are going to be sending all sorts of links to what I talk about, so keep an eye on the chat if there's any mods you want to learn more about, if you want to learn more about MODCON in general, if you want to learn more about the Video Gaming History Foundation. And finally, the last order of operations I need to get to before we can actually start talking about the mods, which is what I imagine a lot of people are here for, are the key giveaway. Paradox has actually sent us a few keys to Crusader Kings 3 Chapter 5, which is a lot of DLC. And if you are interested in joining that giveaway, I have a little wheel here. Here, look, check this out. I can show you. It's really cute. These are the test names on it, but look, it's nice and MODCON branded. Don't stare at that wheel. Oh, wrong screen. Don't stare at that wheel for too long, by the way. It'll hypnotize you. And you can potentially win a Chapter 5 key to CK3. Alright, sorry. Does my stream say restream on it in the corner? No, we're good. Sorry about that. Alrighty. So today I have 12 Crusader Kings mods that I'm going to be showing off. We're going to be starting with Tale of the Shinobi, ending with the Four Nations. We've also got 2 live interview segments. We're going to be talking to the Dragon Age Theta Set War devs and also the Four Nations devs in some cute little interviews that I'm very excited for, and that you guys will get to ask questions live on air. We've got everything from total conversion mods today to graphical updates to difficulty updates. All of the trailers were handmade by the creators of these mods, and I just want to say this now, you're probably going to hear a lot from about... I'm so nervous, I'm stumbling over all my words. You're probably going to hear this a lot from me today. and I'm not just saying this as a content creator in the Paradox space, I'm saying this as somebody who plays the game. Mods are such a cornerstone of the community, and so it has been so wonderful to see that the way that all of this has come together and the hard work that is put into developing these mods and showcasing them for everyone. I'm so happy to be a part of it, and I can't wait for you guys to see the trailers as well. All right, now let me make sure I don't have anything else that I need to announce before the beginning of the stream. Oh, well, just obviously this is day 1. We've got Saturday and Sunday, 2 more streams. Today it started at 2 p.m. Central Time. That's 9 p.m. Central European Time. Tomorrow it is going to start at 8 a.m. Pacific Time over on Tarkus's channel. I'm just showing off CK3 mods today. These are all CK3 mods because I'm a CK3 player. But tomorrow and Sunday we've also got some Vic3 mods and some EU5 mods that are also going to be up on Midgeman, Tarkus, and Generalist Gaming's channels. Lord Lambert was going to be a host, but he has unfortunately had to back out, and so Midge is taking over his slot as well. Alright. I think we're good. Do I have anything else that I need to say? I don't think I do. If you want more information about MODCON, again, you can check out their website, or you can join their Discord. So, without further ado, let me fade off my little music like a radio host. Why don't we get into showing off the first mod? The first mod that I have is called Tale of the Shinobi. It is a Naruto, which God only knows how the correct way to say that is. I looked it up. People say it both ways. Just people are going to be mad at me either way. Whatever. A Naruto total conversion mod for CK3 featuring ninja clans, warfare, and the struggle for power in the Shinobi world. So let me start that real quick, and I'll see you guys in a couple minutes.
Did you find him?
No, Orochimaru. We still haven't been able to track him down.
He's planning something. It seems war is inevitable.
Lord Misukage, Meitarumi has made her move. It seems civil war is inevitable. Pity.
I see. Either way, victory will be ours.
That woman is dangerous.
I'm more dangerous. Come, it is time to put an end to this. The blood mist will stand.
My queen, there are rumors that the southern lords have hired samurai. Every shinobi of Nadeshiko village stands with you. It seems they believe they can take us.
How amusing! How very amusing! So, it is war? We will spill rivers of blood in the name of our goddess.
The lands of claws, fangs, and calm seas. And that old fool from Bamboo. Even now they dream of restoring the Jade Empire. In the West, rebels have carved out a country of their own. And yet, it is the East that scares me most. But we may survive, if the Eastern continent undergoes surgery.
All right, that was Tale of the Shinobi coming out on August 19th. And immediately as I started talking, there are sirens outside. Sorry about that. A total conversion mod featuring ninja clans, warfare, and the struggle for power in the Shinobi world. I saw someone mention it. You will be able to master chakra, rise through the Shinobi world, and there are new jutsu, bloodline traits, hidden village mechanics, missions, and Shinobi duels. I just love total conversion mods, and you're going to see this a lot. I love all of the little 3D modifications that people have made to the game. I think that is so sick. I loved all of the different character designs that were incorporated there. All right, next up, we have Tehran, the Age of Kings. Tehran, the Age of Kings. A CK3 total conversion mod in an original high fantasy world. All right, and that was Tehran. That was Tehran, the Age of Kings, a CK3 total conversion mod in a high fantasy world that is, as you saw, developed by a solo developer. The The mod currently contains 1/2 of the 7 major isles that consist of the archipelago, known as the Golden Isles, but as we go forward, the developer says they want to introduce more story cycles for each bookmark character, and after the release of the mod, they want to work inward and make the mod feel much more lived in, adding special characters, a brand new magic system, more of the Golden Isles, plague struggles, changelings, and overall a very playable and active CK3 experience. So they want to ask, shall you survive the struggle of the Age of Kings? Very, very cool. Definitely keep an eye on that. I think with these total conversion mods, it is so fun to see the different ways that certain franchises are adapted, but it's also extremely interesting to see the way that people bring their own lore and their own stories into it. What I love about Crusader Kings is the way that you can use it to tell stories, and so it's so fun to see people take it and run with that medium with the original characters and worlds that they care so much about. So thank you very much to Run the Age of Kings for showing off that wonderful trailer. Thank you to everybody else who has donated over on the YouTube page, by the way. We are already past $200 raised to preserve video game history. If you are one of my Twitch viewers, so I'm actually not allowed to link directly to my YouTube live stream from my Twitch live stream. It's like a platform policy, but I will say I have the same username on both platforms. If you would like to head over and see what is going on there and potentially see the donate button where you can help to donate to preserve video gaming history. All right, what else do we got next? It was very nice to make your mod. One thing that I am learning while going through all of these and talking to the mod developers is fun. It's a lot of work. Can you believe that? To completely reskin and change a game and add in all of your own original content. So please keep that in mind as well whenever you are watching all of these trailers. These people, nobody, I believe, is getting paid for this. This is all done simply to make the game more fun for other people. And so I appreciate people being respectful and kind and uplifting all of the modders who worked very hard to show off the mods that they submitted today. All right. Next up, we have Dragon Age Thetis at War. And after that, we are going to have a 30-minute-ish live segment where we are going to interview with the Dragon Age Thetis at War team. I'm going to get to ask them some questions, and those questions are going to come specifically from you guys. So, do we have a Google form for this one? Or are people just going to ask the questions in the chat? Either way, I will be keeping an eye out while the trailer is playing. And, yeah, enjoy. Here's Dragon Age Thetis at War.
You, who stand before the gates. You, who followed me into the heart of evil. The fear of death is in your eyes. Its hand is upon your throat. Raise your voices to the heavens. Remember, not alone do we stand on the field of battle.
Greetings, good folk. It is Brother Jin TV once again. I bring news to newcomers and those who have returned after our last meeting. It is my great honor to share with you some of my discoveries. Uncovered documents written by Chantry scholars along with ancient texts of Dalish lorekeepers, all dating back to the Glory Age. Orlais has been at the pinnacle of power across Thetis since Cordelis Dracon I. Now his son, Cordelis II, must try and keep it together in the Second Blight's wake. Many believe that the current Emperor of Orlais cannot escape his father's long shadow, but will he prove them wrong? Rue Marchette, a rising threat to the rule of House Dracon, seeks to break away and forge his own crown deep within the Nahashin marshes. Rue will not rest until his people are free from the weakened Empire of Orlais. Will the Empire of Orlais endure? In the Dales, Finarel is rooted in tradition, uncompromising in all things. Hassandriel is trying to ensure that his people survive whatever is to come their way. War is on the horizon, seemingly inevitable as the tension between Orlais and the Dells is the worst it has ever been. Without a foe greater than themselves, Thetis' people turn their blades toward one another. The Pale Demon would gladly prefer death to submission, but Hassandriel believes that submission is preferable to extinction. Should the soldiers of the Dales spill enough Orlesian blood, the divine might call forth an exalted march. With no allies to call upon, the elves may see themselves repeat history. One of the proud Avar, Ulster has many paths before him, some more perilous than others. Arona is a gifted, strong-willed member of the Chastened. She has great potential among her people. Caedmon is the favorite of the clans, for he is the grandson of the great Hafter, with many supporting his cause to unite Ferelden as its first true king. Each of them have a long road ahead of them, where their paths may cross depending on their choices. Choices are always made for better or worse, and rarely do we ever learn if those choices were right or wrong. For these three, who will prove themselves to be right, and who will be wrong? Oh well, by the Maker, it has grown quite late. Hopefully you have enjoyed listening to this old chantry scholar. Before you go, I have one last gift for you. Magic exists to serve man, and never to rule over him. This is what the chantry teaches us. For those of a curious nature, magic is coming, but that is for another time. Until we meet again, my friends.
The Maker is with us. His light shall be our banner, and we shall bear it through the gates of that city and deliver it to our brothers and sisters awaiting their freedom within those walls. At last, the light shall shine upon all of creation, if we are only strong enough to carry it.
All right, congratulations to the Dragon Age team. That's such a success. That's such an amazing trailer, and I can tell there's so much hard work put into that mod, as all of the mods. But yeah, that's it now. NOW. In case you didn't know how to spell that, go check it out. And you know what? You know what my favorite part of this is? I saw someone while that trailer was playing. They said, "I've never played Dragon Age before, but this looks sick. I might just have to check it out." And to me, that is one of my favorite parts about these total conversion mods. I have played so many total conversion mods for franchises that I was not a part of, and they got me into the franchise at large. And it's just such an excellent way to bridge the gap between two video games. And it makes me very happy. Black Angel, thank you for the $20 donation to the Video Game History Foundation. JPH, I also saw a donation from you as well. Thank you very much. Are people on the Twitch stream having trouble finding the Preserve Video Game History Foundation charity stream? Oops, sorry about that noise there. I did see someone say something about that. It should be, there's like my live chat, and then there's like a window beneath it that says donate. Anywho, that was very fun. Congratulations, Dragon Age Thetis at War Team. A little bit more about that mod, although you'll get to hear in a few minutes when I talk to them live exactly what they think about the mod, the developers, rather than just me. It is a total conversion mod with the intent to bring the world of Dragon Age to CK3. In that world, you'll enter the dark fantasy world known as Thetis, which, again, I hope I'm saying correctly. Regardless of your playstyle, you will find something to enjoy thanks to the vast and unique world that they are bringing to CK3, including a political intrigue, hunting mages, fleeing the Templars as a mage yourself, and yeah, I saw a lot of really good questions that we're going to get to ask them. So let me really quickly hop into a voice call with them. Did I know Theta stands for the Dragon Age setting? No, I did not. I'm learning so much today. All right, I'm gonna join.
Hello.
Hello. Let me very quickly get my stream set up so people can see what we are up to.
Of
course.
And let me set up the stream for the game.
Congratulations on such a wonderful trailer.
Oh, thank you, thank you. We were
Thank
very
you.
excited to show it off.
All right. Okay. Stream. Sorry, and then. Okay.
You're doing great. Don't apologize.
I'm.
No.
Listen, I'm way.
We were happy that we had a host that was just as nervous as we were.
Oh my god. I'm a little.
We were
ahead
like,
of schedule,
thankfully.
So we're gonna get to talk.
That gives us more time.
Yes, exactly. So really quickly, can you guys go around and introduce yourselves and say what part of the mod that you guys work on?
I guess I'll go first because alphabetically I'm at the top.
Mhm.
I'm Rizlov. I'm art lead. Mostly nowadays I do mechanical side of art, so I make sure stuff gets implemented properly. When it comes to actually making art stuff nowadays, I do ethnicities and templates. For anyone who does template modding in the CK3 scene, it's a pain in the ass, I'm sure you know. But that's mostly what I do these days.
All right.
Yeah. I am the writing lead. I handle all things writing, which is like 90% of the mod. So yeah, I manage the writing department. Every event that you see, I've had eyes on it if I have not had a hand in it directly.
And I am Shoganza. I am the Vice Art lead. I do a lot of the 2D illustrations, so like the loading screens are me. A good chunk of the Men-at-Arms portraits are me. I do stuff like crowns in 3D periodically, just various things.
All right. Thank you guys for the introductions. I'm Jillian, by the way, if you didn't know.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Flash.
So, I have a couple questions from the chat, although we also gathered some questions from your community before the stream, just to start us off with. The first one that I have, and this is kind of a lot, so if you needed a reminder, I have them up on my stream as well.
Cool.
A member of your community asked, are there any interesting lore bits or characters that you ran into while developing the setting for this mod? And I would add to that, for those of us who maybe aren't that familiar with the Dragon Age franchise or the lore in general, what is it about the lore or the setting that you think makes it work as a CK3 total conversion mod? Because there are a lot of movies, shows, books that I think people really like the worlds that don't necessarily function great in CK3. So what is it about this in particular that made you guys want to work on the mod, or that you think makes it a really good mod? That was a lot.
We were actually talking about this yesterday in preparation for like, what answers we want to do. And I had a really good thought for this. Caedmon, who is our Terran of Denerim, this guy right here, who is historically the first guy who tries to unify Ferelden, but catastrophically fails. In the process of doing this, he's also the guy, just as a tidbit of lore, introduces the Orlesian Chantry into Ferelden, which is like the main religion in the Dragon Age setting. And just as a byproduct of that, it's kind of a footnote in his history, because obviously the main thing about him is trying to conquer Ferelden. But just because of that, the Orlesian Chantry takes a foothold in Ferelden, and all the way until the modern day of the Dragon Age, in the Dragon Age setting, it's still Orlesian Chantry, even though they do it slightly different in the modern day. It's still Orlesian Chantry.
All right. What is that trait that he has, by the way, between Forder and Strong?
Oh, yes. Human. So there are different, races in the Dragon Age setting. With our mod releasing, we're only doing two races at start. There's obviously more, but for first release, we just did humans and elves. So we have humans and elves. The reason we did race traits as opposed to just having the races look like they're races but not doing race traits like an Elder Kings 2 system is that in the Dragon Age setting, elves and humans, while they can interbreed, they don't create half-breeds like in other fantasy settings. They always, in the context of a human and elf, they always look like humans, right? So you have to have two elven parents to come out as an elf. Whereas if you have a human and an elf parent, you will always come out as a human, right? So we kind of had to create a system for that.
All right.
So.
Okay, yeah. I didn't want to interrupt you, but if anyone else who wants to answer the question as well.
Yeah, we kind of straddle an interesting place where we're adapting a part of the setting that is way before the RPGs take place. And so some of our characters kind of straddle the line between mod canon and canonical. One of our bookmark characters, Fenarel, is actually just based off of a particularly interesting codex description on a mage staff that you can pick up in Dragon Age Inquisition. So like that's part of what I find really interesting. Somebody looked at the codex entry for this staff and said, "Wow!" And I think it's called Yavanalis. Like, interesting idea for a character. There's this guy called the Pale Demon, who we know was on the front lines in the Exalted Marches, and then we also have this ruin that still exists in the games called Saladin's Keep, and the character really came together that way. So we've got enough license to take creative license just because of how old this part of the mod is. It takes place hundreds of years before the RPGs, so we can still get creative with it periodically.
And to add on to that, in a similar vein, a character that I had a big hand in writing for.
I know exactly what you're going to say already.
The Duke of Nahashin Marshes, Rue Marchette. He's my boy, my pride and joy. So, again, similar to what Sho was saying about the staff and the Elven Mage, similar for him. In Dragon Age Inquisition, you can find I believe it's an axe called the Song of the Nahashin Marshes. It's literally just like a battle axe. And there's a brief little description mentioning this character. Otherwise, there's no mention of him in lore, and we've built an entire rebellion around him based on the Lorien tree, trying to essentially break the cycle that Orlais perpetuates.
That's very cool. I love the artifact system in CK3, and it's so fun to see the way that people take that with mods and all the stuff that they add into it. And it's so fun to hear that it sort of bridges past just the artifact inventory and that there's more going on.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. So the next question that we have is also from a member of your community. Last month, Paradox announced that after they figured out that the adventurer archetype was the most popular archetype by far, despite being locked behind a DLC, they were going to make it available to all players. Is there any adventurer content within your mod that we can expect to see?
Oh boy.
Go ahead, Sho. This is your baby. I'm gonna let you handle this one.
So I don't want to give you a firm timeline, but something we're looking at integrating soon is now that some of that functionality is going to be made available to base game players, we want to make the nomadic Dalish really robust. Right now you can see that we have a country called the Dales, but the Dalish elves who were originally landed about 10 years after you start the game will be subjected to a military campaign where the Orlesians will try to wipe them out. And what historically happens in the lore is they lose their lands, and a good portion of them become nomadic. They shift to a more extreme version of their culture and become nomadic. And Paradox giving us the ability to use some of that functionality with Landless Adventures is going to make that a more robust experience. It's going to give us an opportunity to deliver that in a way that we haven't been able to before. It was like Christmas came early.
Wonderful. Is there anything else to add on this one, or should I move on to another question?
We have other plans for adventurer stuff, but it's too far ahead to
we cannot
firm timeline on it.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Next
for the obvious.
Next MODCON.
For the obvious Dragon Age fans, you can guess. You can
you can definitely guess
what's coming. Like obviously, we have many subjects such as wardens, you name it. If you've thought about it as a Dragon Age fan,
we've also thought of it.
Already had that discussion. Nothing's been nailed in stone, of course, but trust me, we are fans first and foremost, and it'll always stay that way.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, so this next question that I have is something that a lot of people were asking about while the trailer was going on. Can you just tell me a little bit about the start dates that are available? Specifically, the question that I got was, will there be a start date that takes place in Dragon Age Inquisition? But
yeah. Please finish.
But if you just want to talk about the start dates in general, I think this is a good jumping off point for that. Or start date singular. I'm not quite sure.
I'll give the easy answer for this first question. There will not ever be a start date for a game from the mainline series, as in DAO, DA2, DAI. A lot of that has to do with, like, we don't want to step on the feet of, like, what your personal decisions were in those role-playing games. Because, like, a big part of those series is that you transfer your save data over, you got to have, like, my personal version of those events, right? And if we were to make a DAI start date, we would have to set our version of the canon, and we don't really want to do that. And there was also the side reason that, like, a lot of the events of those bookmarks, in quotations, take place over like less than a year, which as a time scale doesn't really fit right in a CK bookmark. We're talking like generational timelines, right? Not 1 year. So they just don't really feel right for a bookmark. Corin, you want to talk about our other bookmarks we've thought about?
Yeah. So we presently and for the foreseeable future, we have agreed that we're going to stick to the Glory Age bookmark, which is our only bookmark at this point in time, because, as Rizlov was saying, Crusader Kings, by its very nature, it relies on that generational extension, the loop.
Mm-hmm.
You don't play usually just in the lifespan of a single character. You play for, several generations at the very least, which in Dragon Age, we can see new ages come about, such as the Blessed Age, and this allows a lot of growth that you can see from the codex entries. We have plans to implement triggers for certain characters who may have shown up long ago in the lore by the time that you've heard about them in the Dragon Age. And the Glory Age in specific, the Second Blight has just come to an end. The whole world, a blight is a great army that arises, these horrible manifestations of evil, darkspawn, who rise up under the ground, led by a corrupted old god that look like dragons, and they just have the goal to annihilate everyone. And usually it is like a Thetis in capturing event where all nations need to rally together, and we take place in this bookmark 10 years after that, with all that destruction fresh on everyone's mind.
All right. Perfect. Sounds good. Hopefully that answers all the start date questions. I wish I knew more about the franchise to be able to intelligently say something here. Yeah.
I will throw as an addendum, this is not to say we will never do additional bookmarks. We will eventually. It's just not a priority right now.
Of course.
Our goal right now is to fill out the map.
We're going to fill the map first.
Yep. Everything that you see,
we're about halfway done with the map.
Yeah, everything
like this first.
We want to go from top to bottom, everything that you've seen from the Kokari Wilds all the way to Parvalan. But of course, we will be releasing things in chunks.
Yeah.
As readily as we can.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm. All right. So the next question that I have, I got also from a member of your community, I believe. When writing settings for the mod, do you communicate with the Dragon Age devs at all? And I would also add on to this, if you want to talk a little bit more about your sourcing in general, how, you come up with the stuff that is added in the mod, how closely you are relying to canon information, or if you ever extrapolate from it and create your own characters' backstories. I mean, I imagine to fill out the map, there's not going to be a character mentioned in every single province.
Especially in this time frame. Yeah. We're about 700 years before the game, so no, not really.
All right. So
that's a good question.
Yeah, what
it
does
is a
that
good
look
question,
like?
though.
So just to be clear, we have not reached out to any of the original Dragon Age devs, and that's just our way of being respectful. We want to give them space, and we don't want to force anybody to engage with us. Of course, we're curious, like any fan would be, about what their opinions are, but this is purely a fan project. Canon is kind of king for us. We use all canon sources, so that would be all 4 of the games and their DLC. We also use information from the tabletop campaign. There's also some tie-in novels. There is a Dark Horse comic run, among other things. So we dig deep in the canon, and we fill out everything we can with a canon. And when we identify a hole, that's when we start to discuss as a team what makes sense given the totality of information that we have to put in the hole.
We actually, I just kind of think it's very funny. A member of our team actually bought a very old lore book because there was no mention of it on the dang wiki. And so we had to get someone to buy it so we could read it. So shout out to Varen on the dev team. He bought the OG 2009 Prima game guide so that we could read it. So shout out to him. We needed lore on Denerim, so shout out to him. W. Varen. But yeah. We take sources from everything, and it's only really when we have a contradiction that we really need to make a call.
A contradiction? I didn't even.
They sometimes occur. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you have such a a vast number of games in a single franchise, of course you're going to have conflicts of interest with lore that a lot of people are really passionate about. And our goal for the team, our goal for the team is to try and take on the approach that is as realistic as possible in universe, while also making it fun and enjoyable with what Crusader Kings is about in terms of its mechanics. And that is where you will always find, especially in the writing department, we are always yapping about lore and what we should deviate from in favor of, like, let's say we heard something about a castle in Dragon Age Origins, and then we hear something about said castle in Inquisition, and they conflict with each other. We have
the location of Haven.
Like the location of Haven. Rizlov and I just had a
conversation. We have arguments about
ago.
that all the time.
Yeah, Rizlov pinged me like, hey, Haven's in the wrong place.
Haven's in the wrong spot.
And I'm like, no, it's not. And we had to, like, we literally
BioWare just changed their mind about where Haven is.
Yes.
Are you even
BioWare...
in a conversion mod if you're not having weekly crash outs like this?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yes.
All right. Well, the next question I have comes from my Twitch chat. And very quickly, by the way, unless... sorry. I have a million things open. Do you guys have access to the Google form replies that have been coming through, if there are any questions?
Yes, I do. Let me pull them up.
All right. If you could pass those along to me so I could get them prepped. I do these... Yeah. The next question I have, though, comes from my Twitch chat. And that is... sorry, let me find the right image. Are there any interactions with CK3 DLC content integrated into the mod?
Yes, but you will not need it as a requirement, I will say that. Unless you want to do, like, advanced adventurer stuff, because until, they make it free,
We do not assume that you have the DLC.
We don't assume you have it.
Okay.
Your characters, kind of won't look as good, because I put a lot of effort into the barbershops with my ethnicity work.
Good.
But, everyone likes to play dress up in CK3, it's a known fact. But,
All right.
Okay.
While we're getting that set up, I can give you guys the easy question. What is your favorite part of this mod? If you would just want to very quickly talk about that.
Oh, man.
As much as it's made me want to slam my head into a wall, I do enjoy the Ferelden struggle.
Can you talk a little bit
those
about...
Those who know, know.
Dog Lord.
About it.
Dog Lords. The Ferelden struggle is... the Ferelden struggle, let me pull it up. Is this thing right here. So, canonically, Ferelden doesn't unify as a political entity until, I think, the 5th Age? Glory Age? Not Glory Age, dang it. Exalted.
There you go.
Which is Calenhad Theron, born in High Ever, for all the High Ever glazers in the chat. Comes down, son of a nobody merchant, somehow unifies the entire country and makes a country for all the Clane tribesmen, right? And they unify and become Ferelden. That's the long and short of it, right? But before that, they were basically an infighting tribal people. And so the only real, political entities, modern nation states, would be, Orlais and then Navarra and, the small free marches up here, Antiva, Ravane. So this whole area was just tribes and small, feudal states around here, right? And so to represent this fractious nature of Ferelden, we have the Ferelden struggle, which you start in, and this is the region. So it doesn't include the Kukari Wilds or the Frostback Mountains. And you basically bounce between, includes Alamari Maker Cult, which is our representation of basically the people in this region that worshipped the Maker but weren't structured like the Orlesian Chantry. Obviously, the Orlesian Chantry, which becomes involved after Caedmon introduces it in like 5 or 10 years. And then the 3 different Avar, religions, I guess I should say, which are the traditional one, Spirits of the Mountain. We have Jaws of Hakon, which do exist at this time. And then Lady of the Sky worshippers, which are Cult of the Sky. And then it's just these 2 cultures. And they're duking it out around here. And you basically have to either conquer it all through dominance, right? It gives you all this. It'll make you Ferelden culture and whatnot. And I hijacked like the English culture events where you switch Ferelden and your vassals switch to Ferelden, and the Sicilian culture events from base game where it like slowly spreads over time once you take this option. Unification, where you're basically allied to everyone and that sort of thing. They become vassals of you. It's pretty cool. And then collapse. Collapse is if you are an outside person, such as the Chastened or the Avar, and then you can choose to just destroy the struggle, and Ferelden will never be unified, because screw them. So that's W Chastened moment. Show loves her Aerona, the Blood Mage.
I just love the magic in general.
She loves the
if
magic.
You're a little bit malicious, you can do a lot of things with the magic system.
Yeah. All right, let me grab those questions while Corin and Show answer theirs.
Yeah, tell me your favorite part.
Sorry, so mine.
I'm sorry. Sorry, there's a lot in the Ferelden struggle.
Tell me your favorite part.
Tell me your favorite part.
Tell me it now. Yeah. So mine is a bit of a simpler answer. I'm an avid role player. I love getting immersed in the world, and that's probably my favorite aspect of bringing, this total conversion mod to life as much as possible, is just seeing the ways like people can really embody what it means to play a character in, their favorite locations within this universe, and, seeing everyone do these crazy feats like uniting Ferelden as Caedmon, or leading a rebellion against Orlais, or ensuring that the Dales survives the canonical Exalted March that sees the last Elven kingdom destroyed, scattering them into tribes. It's just that's what I live for with this mod, and so that's like something that really helps keep me going.
That's wonderful. I think I said this before already this stream, but it is, I can't even remember if I said it during this interview, but I love storytelling as well. That's what drew me to CK3 at all. And so it is so fun to see in these total conversion mods the care that goes into it from people who care about these stories in general, and also just the potential of new stories to rise out from under them. Like, I think that is so sick. You don't necessarily need to even understand everything that's going on to be able to craft your own story with this world that has been created. So that's sick. All right, one more favorite part of the mod?
Well, why don't we talk about your favorite part of CK3, which I'm told is eating the Pope.
Oh, let me pull that up in the meantime.
I'm sorry to say that we do not have a Pope for you to eat in Thedas at War, but we do have a Divine, which is kind of like a girl boss Pope, and I would assume that it's a pretty similar flavor profile.
That just fits my brand even better. I like her outfits.
Canonical. Huh?
One of my other favorite parts of CK3 is the barbershop and character customization.
See?
So
this is why you get the DLC for dress up.
Pretty much, yeah. Alrighty. Let me look at what other questions I already have prepared. Alright, this one, I believe it probably came from one of your developers. It said, which team is the best team?
That's my question.
That's
it's
your
team,
question.
It's our team, by the way.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about what teams there are? Who are not the best teams, but also exist?
Technically, there are 5 teams now. The main 3, though, are Art Team, which is mine and Show's. There's Writing, which is Corin's and Tylo, who's not here. There's Scripting, which are our like main coders. They do the big like mechanical stuff, which is Typical and Stocky. And then we have also Community Department, which manages mostly our outreach stuff and like QA department and stuff like that. And now with the mod release, they'll also be managing community contributions. So if you make like your special glub shitto for the mod and you want it, you just really think it's good and you want to put it in the mod, Octarex, he's the guy. Let's see what else. Oh, we have our music department. That's Hero. So we actually have custom music for the mod. Yes, and that's Hero. There's only 2 people in it, and the main guy that runs is Hero.
The Maker's Strongest Soldiers.
The Maker's Strongest Soldiers, the music people, yeah. All right. let's see. All right, I am going to be sending you the new questions very shortly.
All right. Sounds good. You can tell me if this is a good question or not. Again, I don't know much about what's going on here. Are there circles? Someone asked.
There are.
Okay.
There are.
I assume not the
I would
shape,
not.
but
So, it's a government.
Okay.
If I can find one. The main one would be here, in
We
the
have
White Spire.
Both the in terms of the shape and the kind of establishment, we have both of those.
Yes. If I'm gonna assume you don't know what they are,
Nope.
Jillian.
Not a clue.
But in the canon of Dragon Age, a lot of people, the vast majority, especially humans, are deeply fearful of mages, because
sense.
at any moment they could just flip their, snap their fingers and destroy you, right?
Oh,
But also, but why would they do that, right? Yeah. But also, not just that. In the canon of Dragon Age, like the dream world, right? Like when you go to dream is like an actual parallel dimension that demons and
Fade.
spirits exist in. It's called the Fade, right? And so when you dream, you go to that world, and like spirits and demons might possess you, and mages are like a gajillion times more at risk from that, especially since spirits want to possess people that have a ton of power, right?
And they can open the Fade.
And
with
they
their
can open the
magic.
Fade. Yes, mages can open the Fade to let them through, right? So mages are a huge target. And so people are terrified of mages, not just because they can snap their fingers and kill them, but they might be possessed by a demon, right? And so in the world of Thedas, the Dragon Age setting, mages tend to be, especially in the human lands, congregated into basically like mages' towers, where they're like segregated from the rest of society, and they're called circles, right? We haven't really done a ton of circle-centric mechanics yet. That's a future update we're planning on doing. No timeline on when that is, but it will happen eventually.
And just for the record, if circle mages aren't your beat, we do have mages that exist outside.
Yes.
Circle.
There will
This
be
is
mages outside as well.
the religious structures that exist
Yes,
in
yeah.
Lore.
All right. Really quickly, I just want to shill the little giveaway that we're doing one more time after this interview.
Absolutely.
I'm going to draw 2 names for the keys to the full Chapter 5 of CK3 provided by Paradox, which is pretty crazy. There should be a link being sent right now as I say this if you would like to join. Yep, there it is in my YouTube chat. Let me send it over in Twitch chat as well. We've got time for like probably 1 or 2 more questions. I saw this one and it's obviously something that I'm thinking about as well.
Okay.
Do you feel like this is the kind of mod that can be played by someone who doesn't maybe know every single in and out of the Dragon Age universe?
Probably.
So we want to provide a setting, a variation of the setting that BioWare lovingly made, that has drawn in so many people. We want to make it accessible for people who are likely coming from, their love of Crusader Kings. We want you to be able to adapt and learn. We are always putting in all of the information that we can reasonably squeeze in so that you have as much information as possible with lore and how you should be role-playing your character, or at least what you can lean on with the devices in-game. And we honestly hope that if you enjoy this version of Dragon Age, what we're able to do with it, we hope that it will encourage you to load up the actual games themselves and to really join us in our love for this fandom.
That is the biggest love letter that we could give. Like, cannot express this enough. If you are playing this Total Conversion mod and you're enjoying it, please go support the devs, play the original Dragon Age games. But yes, I do think that somebody coming in with no information about the lore of Dragon Age could play this mod, because one of the core mentalities we've had while developing this project is that we're not adapting a Dragon Age game, we are adapting the Dragon Age lore into a CK3 Total Conversion mod. So if you can play CK3, you can understand this mod.
Perfect. That is good to know. That is for a friend of mine who likes to play Total Conversion mods, but hasn't played the video game yet. All right. I think this will probably be our last question, and it is a very general one. But can you give us any hints about what we're expecting next or what you want to work on going forward? I know we've already talked about a lot of things that are upcoming or that you want to do next, but is there any hints or teasers that you would like to show right now or talk about?
I think there's 2 we could talk about. We know. I think we want to talk about the Orlesian one.
Yeah, let's start with the Orlesian one.
Okay, so for those of you Dragon Age heads out there, the main defining feature of Orlais is the Great Game or the Grand Game. It's called both in the lore, and I prefer Great Game. And it's like this grand politicking, like, oh, most Orlesians don't like fight head on, right? They usually do like backroom deals and politicking, and like they're very pleasant to each other in public, but behind the scenes they're plotting to kill each other, right? It's called the Great Game. Okay, we have not implemented our mechanic for that yet. We're working on it in the back, right? That is probably going to be one of our more soonish updates in the pipeline, right? It's the Great Game.
The other one that we've discussed in passing last ModCon is if you watched our trailer last year, which I believe is still up on YouTube.
It is, yep.
We did mention that our first map expansion will include Navarra.
So
we don't have a timeline on that yet, but you should expect it sooner versus later.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that would be like a region that's more focused around necromancy.
Yeah, necromancy. Yep.
It'll be essentially Navarra, essentially rising up as its own kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least what's going on in the lore.
Yeah,
so players can experience.
At this time, Navarra is still relatively on the weaker side. It's considered one of the free marches, which are over here at this time. It's the westernmost, but it's rising as like its own like world power or regional power, I guess I should say, independent from the rest of the free marches. It even takes some land that's currently part of Orlais at the moment. So if we look at our kingdom map, modern day Perendale right here is owned by Navarra later in the timeline.
You mentioned necromancy. Is that currently a part of the mod right now, or is that going to be planned as part of the expansion?
Probably part of the expansion.
Okay. We're planning on releasing our updates in terms of like themed updates.
Yeah.
So every update will be based around either like a subset of the lore, a faction in the lore, or like a geographical area.
Mm-hmm.
And because Navarra is so strongly associated with necromancy, it's very taboo outside of it. We wanted to make sure that that was coming with Navarra. So that'll come together. So magic on the whole exists, but the skill tree for necromancy does not yet exist in the mod.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We do have skill trees for like regular magic at the moment, but like specialized magic, like necromancy, has not been done yet.
When you say skill tree, is that in the lifestyle tab?
Like perk trees, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
You want to show
like
it?
a magical lifestyle,
Yeah, we can show that. Let me go to Arona.
Yeah. There's a magical lifestyle. So every mage will have like a base level of like potential that just comes from like, their gene pool and how powerful their ceiling is as a mage. But there's also the levels that they can get to through improving via the magic lifestyle. And they can fill out these trees to get access to new spells. So you could actually pull up the spell book, Rizlov. You'll see them. They're just going to be grayed out because she doesn't have it. But yeah, you can see that there are different skill trees, and they'll come with different spells. So if you select somebody on the map, you can see that that's one of our skill trees.
All right. Very, very cool. Very fun.
Magic still needs balance. So if you have balancing suggestions, please tell us.
Go play it. Go play the mod and help us with all of this.
The cancer spell has been the downfall of many an Orlesian empire in our test games. Ask Show.
Weakness is my go-to.
Yeah.
Weakness is the cancer spell.
87-year-old emperor, you totally need to be given cancer right now.
Sure would be a shame if the emperor was to become ill.
Yeah, sure would be. I cast cancer.
Oh, you want to play the emperor? Not if I curse you.
Not if I curse you with cancer. Yeah. So balancing is still up in the air, but it's functional.
You can expect more updates to Magic.
Yeah, it'll obviously it's still everything is whip, but
and subject to change.
Yeah.
Well, that's very exciting. It sounds like you guys have a lot of fun working on this mod, and I'm sure that seeps into the playing of it itself. It's available now, correct?
It is
Yep.
available now.
We had one of our guys, Rex, our community lead, just having his finger hovering over the Make Public button on Steam so that he could do it as soon as it said now.
Yeah, it was a little ahead of schedule, so hopefully he was still ready for that.
You're fine. He was watching it. He was ready to go. And if anyone wants to rewatch the trailer because they really like it, we have a YouTube channel, so you can just rewatch it.
Is there anywhere else people should follow you or find you if they want to talk about the mod or even Dragon Age in general?
We have a Reddit. We have a Reddit, Thetis at War.
Of course, our Discord.
We have the Discord. Obviously,
Discord would
we
be
are so
efficient.
terminally online, and I usually answer any questions that the public asks within like a few hours. And if not me, someone else will.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I have to move on to the rest of the other mods that I'm showing off, but thank you for talking with me. And if anyone else has any other questions, sounds like you know where to ask them, and you'll get a response pretty quickly.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys, for talking with me. All right.
Yep, no problem. It's nice to talk to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alrighty. Let me switch back over. All right, can I make a confession to you guys? That is like the first interview that I have ever conducted, and I did it live to about 1,000 people about a project that they care very much about. So hopefully that went okay. Ha 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 ha. But all right, you know what time it is? It's not time to show off more mods. I've never done it. I have not, if you can believe it. Normally I am the one being interviewed because I'm so cool and have so much to say that people are curious about. Such as, guys, I think it's time to do a giveaway for the Chapter 5 CK3 key. Check out this wheel. Look at all these names on it. It's called the MODCON. Isn't that the funniest thing you've ever heard? We're going to be doing 2 draws right now. We're going to be picking 2 names, and then later, right before we get in to do that again, we're going to be talking to the mods of the 4Nation developer team. We're going to do 2 more draws. So if you didn't get in this time, if your name isn't on the list, which it probably is if you submitted it to the form, then we'll see. Let me make sure that it looks okay in my stream software. And it is not moving. All right. Glad that I checked that before I ran it. 1 second. Wheel of Names. Why aren't you moving, Wheel of Names? You're spinning on my screen. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Let's click to spin it. This is so exciting. Look at that mod coin go. Very muted applause from the browser itself. Congratulations, HRose216 on winning a Chapter 5. Got it right that time. Key for Crusader Kings 3. I believe the ModCon guys will be in contact with you with that soon. Hold on, I have a message on Discord. Yes, HRose216, congratulations. And one more for the fans of Crusader Kings 3. Stardeath, period. Congratulations, Stardeath. I'm gonna say that very seriously because there's a period after it. Congratulations! I hope you enjoy playing Chapter 5 of CK3. And thank you again to Paradox for giving out these keys for us to give away in the first place. They're so kind of them. Alright, I have another thank you to do. I have more people to thank because you know what? We have raised over $500 for the Preserve Video Game History Foundation over on my YouTube. Oh, do we know Stardeath? Congratulations, Stardeath. Well, I assume people... Alright, anyway. If you would like to donate to Preserve Video Gaming History, which again, as a reminder, they're not just, talking about video games. They are keeping up an actual physical and digital archive of all kinds of video gaming source codes, but also video gaming magazines, video gaming items, physical reminders of the digital games that we love so much. And you can actually, if you live in California, I believe it's Emeryville, you can visit their physical library. And if you do, let me know how that goes, because I'm not in California, but that sounds sick. And yeah, there is a link to their website if you would like to check it out. And if you're unable to donate over on YouTube with the YouTube giving function, you can still make a donation over on their website as well. So thank you again. If you are interested in joining the next giveaway that we do towards the end of the stream for the... For 2 more CK3 keys, there's a Google form that will be sent out periodically that you can send your information in as well. And in the meantime, I've got another trailer for you. This one is for Milites Gosh darn it, I tried so hard to pronounce it right. I was going to nail it first try, and I stumbled. Milites Peditesque, in which you can witness the evolution of warfare and equip your characters for battle by choosing from a variety of new weapons and armor pieces. So, without further ado, here is the next trailer of MODCON 2026. Alright, yeah, that song was a banger. I saw someone say, this song makes me want to show my ankles. I hope that's what the mod developer was going for. But yeah, that was Milites Peditesque, a graphical mod that aims to visually improve the way that characters equip themselves for warfare throughout the vanilla time period. A lot of these mods, you know, talk with either alternate history or original franchises, original histories. It's very fun just to see someone's unabashed love for history, and I love that in that trailer they included all of the references to the actual models that they created. Very, very cool. Thank you very much for showing off that mod. And thank you again to everyone else who has donated to preserve video gaming history, another kind of history. Oh, tie-in, segue, related, hosting. All right. Next up, we have an original CK3 mod called Rise and Fall, a mod designed to simulate the rise and fall of nations with historical context as well. So we get that queued up, and here is Rise and Fall.
My liege, your father is dead.
So the crown is mine.
No, only the burden.
Alright, that was Rise and Fall, and after that really epic song, I feel silly just returning back and being like, hee hee hee, hi! The music for these trailers has been really, really good. Rise and Fall is a mod designed to simulate the rise and fall of nations with historical context. It is based off of real historical events like the Diadochi Wars, the Three Kingdoms style collapse, warlords, revolts, and empires breaking apart. By and large, it seems to make the game more fun, more dynamic, and potentially even more difficult, which some of you may need. I do not need that. It improves AI adventurers as well, so they can actually invade and become a threat, while also adding a few quality of life features like automatic title creation and title giveaways. And one of the other cool things about Rise and Fall is that it is a very light mod, so it is designed to work with as many other mods as possible, potentially even other mods that are located on my schedule right here. Check this out, I'm bringing the pointer back out. I know we all really like the pointer. The pointer's really fun. Thank you, Rise and Fall, which tries to make CK3 more difficult, unstable, and story-driven, so the world keeps changing instead of staying safe and predictable. And who would want that? Who would want safe and predictable? John Game History is in chat. Oh, it's the Gaming History Organization. Hello. Yes, welcome in. Welcome to MODCON 2026. This is an event where we are showing off the mods and the trailers developed by said mod developers for various Paradox games. Today is just CK3, Crusader Kings 3. Tomorrow is going to be Europa Universalis 5 and also Victoria 3. Strategy games, map games, you know how it is, probably, if you're... But yeah, we are raising money to support them, and so far we have raised over $600. So if anyone else would like to make me look cool and make the mod developers look cool in front of the Video Gaming History Organization account that is shown up on my YouTube page, head on over to my YouTube and click that donate button. It's for a great cause. Alrighty. Thanks for showing your mod you made. Oh, cool! I really enjoyed your trailer, BizCap. I liked it a lot. I like seeing all the mod developers in chat today. Alrighty. Yeah, we'll see. I'm really enjoying all the music of these trailers. It's the most fun. It's not the most fun. All of this is fun, but it's fun. And I know there's another really good one coming up. Next up, we have Lux Renata. 14 centuries after the exile of Alexander's heir to Cyprus, the light of classical antiquity has not been extinguished. Can you banish the Dark Ages? Lux Renata.
Long ago, in the time before time, a boy ran to his mother with tears in his eyes, in the court of Ethiopia. Mother, my cousins at court tease me, and they call me bastard. They say that King Merops is merely my lord and not my lord father. Clemen held her child to her breast, as she had done countless times before. Phaethon, my sweet boy, King Merops loves you as any man could love his son. This can't be doubted, but your kinsman did tell the truth. I did not bore you with the seed of King Merops. My child, your Lord Father is the Lord of all in the heavens. You are a child of that great light in the sky. The chariot of your father Helios gives us the gift of the morning. This filled Phaethon with a great pride. One day I shall see my Lord Father. I shall go up to the court of heaven, and I shall be called bastard no more. The boy Phaethon awoke in a different place. A dream? He saw a most resplendent figure, sitting in atop a great chariot. Young Phaethon, I have heard your cries. I am your Lord Father Helios, he who separates the night from the day. The boy embraced his father. My lord, may I sit with you upon the chariot? Perhaps even hold the reins? Helios looked reluctant, but with a slight smile. Just suppose you were given the chariot of the sun. What would you do? Phaethon sat in the chariot of the sun. He was to turn the night into day, but dawn did not come for Phaethon. The strength of his father's horses were too great for young Phaethon. Overwhelmed, he brought the chariot of the sun to the earth. Cities burned, the oceans dried up, crops turned to ash. Zeus, king of the gods, arose from his throne. Helios, your son, though he is immortal, has done mankind credit with how far his hands grasp. But it is for the good of mankind that I must slay your progeny before his daring makes the earth into a ruin. Here lies Phaethon, his father's charioteer. Great was his fall, yet did he greatly dare. But this is a story of another man who grasped too close to the sun.
Alrighty. I hope that was actually the end of the trailer and my stream didn't just cut out. I would like to issue a formal apology to the Old Gods team. I got so excited when I saw the numbers 6 and 7 after each other in my list that I skipped right on over you. So that was Lux Renata. Let's still give Lux Renata the attention that they deserve. Lux Renata means the light reborn in Latin, and it is an alternate history mod centered around an alternate Middle Ages in which a large number of older historical realms have survived. It's based on an old CK2 mod known as Lux Invicta, which was created by Shaitana, and the Lux Renata team aims to take that unique setting and explore it as a very different world from our own, with new religions, powers, government forms, and characters, creating a rich tapestry for gameplay and storytelling. And for those curious, the main point of divergence is that Alexander the Great lives longer, allowing his Hellenistic empire to entrench itself. That was Lux Renata. There are all sorts of really cool features that were added, in addition to a very cool and intense and awesome trailer. Next up, going a bit out of order here, we do in fact have Old Gods Expanded. And I will say this to the Old Gods team, I adore the first 10 seconds of your trailer. It is my favorite part of this entire show. And I am very sorry for skipping over you. All right, this is Old Gods Expanded. Alright, that was Old Gods Expanded. Don't you guys like that little guy who was crying blood? Question mark at the end? I think I need to learn my religious history maybe a little bit and figure out why he was doing that. Or maybe I should play Old Gods Expanded, a mod for CK3 that reminder overhauls religions and the religion system. The mod not only adds new religions and faiths, but also new doctrines and tenets. In total, they add over 100 new tenets, with some being unique to specific faiths. And these new doctrines, as you might have seen in the trailer, among other things, allow you to buy and sell slaves, customize religious dress code, set a dietary law, and much more. The mod has previously covered Norse, Baltic, Slavic, Scythian, Turco-Mongolic, Egyptian, and Mande faiths, adding unique mechanics and flavor for all of them. And with them, the aim is to add flavor to all of the faiths in CK3. The coming update focuses on the beliefs of the ancient Celts and bringing their spiritual practices to life in CK3, and as the mod said, it will release as soon as possible after the By God Alone DLC comes out, which I believe is in September? I should know that date off the top of my head. Alright, welcome in everyone to MODCON. If you're just now getting here, reminder, we are here to celebrate and show off the mods and the beautiful trailers that these mod developers have created in the Paradox community. We're also here to raise money for charity, specifically the Video Game History Foundation. If that is something that you are interested in taking part in, they were here earlier and you guys did a very good job making me look cool in front of them by bringing us from like 600 to almost 800 now. You can go ahead and donate over on my YouTube giving fundraiser that I have going on my YouTube live stream. And I'm not directly allowed to link you to YouTube from Twitch, but I use the same username on every single platform, so just shouldn't be too hard to find. As a reminder, we are also doing a giveaway for a couple keys to Chapter 5 of CK3, which will include the upcoming By God Alone DLC, I think. I should probably double check that before I say things like that, but whatever. I already said it, it's too late. And if you are interested in joining the giveaway, in the chat right now, a Google form is being sent out that you can put your information in. And before the end of the stream, we will go through and we will run that giveaway one more time. We have a really cute little wheel that will spin, and you could potentially win your key to the CK3 Chapter 5. Alright, let me make absolutely sure. Alright, so we went out of order. We did 5, 7, 6. Now we're going to mod number 8. Menticidium. Explore the past and the future of the fantasy world Therosia with unique role-playing focused gameplay. Oh, my mic might have been unmuted that whole time. Oops. I didn't say anything, but hopefully you couldn't hear me, like, heavy breathing. Whatever. I believe that was Beethoven, by the way. I don't know oh, that was Vivaldi? Was it Vivaldi? I don't know. It was a cool song, though, and it's fun. And now I look stupid. Anyway, that was Menticidium, a total conversion mod based on an original low fantasy world. The mod developers wish to utilize the role-playing potential of the base game, which I am very much on board with, and bring a narrative-focused gameplay based on scripted contents, which they acknowledge indeed sacrifices some degrees of freedom. Their story is seated in the fictional continent of Therosia, where an enormous empire of Hyria and their atheist religion dominates the known world. They would say that their most unique feature is their lore, or the way that they tell it. I don't know if you saw a little bit in the mod there, but there's some stuff. You don't get to know everything right off the bat, and I think that's fun. Combination of all of the more historic mods that we're seeing and an original fantasy setting. Alright. Oh, and they want to include, by the way, since we mentioned earlier that everyone's going to get to be a landless adventurer in the upcoming updates, they want to include story content for a landless adventurer whose background is specifically a traveler from the distant east. I think you saw that in the trailer as well. Alrighty. Really quickly, I'm going to do some announcements very fast because this next trailer is pretty long and I'll be gone for a minute, but don't be scared, I'm still here. We are running a charity giveaway over on my YouTube. We're up to $862 to preserve video game history. That is crazy. Thank you so much to everybody who's donated. Buckzor donated 50. Okay, this is something that I am learning the more I stream on YouTube, is I don't know what currencies are. I believe that is... whatever. Thank you, Buckzor. Thank you, Anonymous, for gifting 5 and Anonymous for donating 5. Thank you guys very much. This is going to go to a great cause. That was pounds. All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Listen, I don't know everything over here. How do you enter the giveaway? What a good question. You can enter the giveaway by joining the Google form link that is being sent out by Lord R in my YouTube chat, and I believe a couple people in my Twitch chat. It'll put your name into a list, we'll put your name on a wheel, we'll spin the wheel, and you'll maybe even get a key to CK3 Chapter 5. There you go. Thank you, Lord R. Pounds, rubles, pesos. Sorry. Listen, I'm here to make jokes, not to know things. Speaking, you know what I do know though? You know what I do have some knowledge on is Sabotage and Subterfuge, which is our next upcoming mod, right here, Sabotage and Subterfuge. You can see it on my schedule. In which you can lead a criminal underground, grow a spy network, provoke vassals or rabble into revolt, sow the seeds of plague, and more. It is a mod focused on the fantasy of intrigue, which sounds right up my alley. And again, it's kind of a long trailer, but don't worry, I'm still here. I'll come back. Alright, see you guys in a bit.
Hello friends, happy MODCON! I'm Pocky, I'm the mod author for Sabotage and Subterfuge. Sort of a fantasy-focused intrigue mod, criminal undergrounds, kingdom-toppling schemes, spy networks, that sort of thing. We'll be doing a quick gameplay overview of what it's like to use the mod today, in a fairly casual live-streamy sort of way with not a lot of scripting. And because of that, I'm going to be making very liberal use of the debug menu, just to keep us moving on pace. Starting with the mod is pretty straightforward. Sabotage and Subterfuge just has its own decisions tree, and this is how you get into the mod. Between this and the tooltips, you should be fine to follow along in-game. And I'm not going to be going through these effects and requirements lists in much detail. I'll try to leave them up on screen, again, just for the sake of time. This initial decision unlocks our ne'er-do-well court positions and a spy network, and I'm going to start off by showing how those things work. Notice we got a bunch of follow-up decisions I'll cover in a little bit, as well as Recruit Malefactor, which is just a mod-specific version of Recruit for Court Position. Let's start with the spy network. For those of you familiar with Game of Thrones, this is an iteration on their system. There are 3 ways you can recruit spies. One of them is directly, if there's a particular person that you want in your spy network. The second is indirectly, if there's a particular court you want a spy in, you can just check for them in general and it'll pull an eligible candidate. In this case, we can see we don't have any eligible candidates. If I go give myself all of the perks, this mod has a few perk changes that make spies more willing to join you, on top of, you know, just having more intrigue and whatnot. And now we'll be able to check the court for potential spies. I'm going to pass some time until we get our event pop up. And now we get Christina from the Court of England as a spy. The last approach uses the council. Your spy master's tasks have mild adjustments also. So find secrets in a particular court gives you a chance instead of finding a secret to recruit a spy. And similarly, disrupt schemes now gives you a chance of finding enemy spies in your court. There's a discovery mechanic again, like in Game of Thrones. If we actually go to look at the spies menu, we can see a list of all the spies we have, how many we have out of our maximum capacity of spies, and some information about the spies. We'll come back to what spies can do for you other than just discovering secrets in a little bit. There's one decision that is very strongly related to spies, which is expanding the spy network, where This lets you double the count of spies, involve children in spying, and also lets you steal innovations or progress towards innovations, to be more specific, from whichever court your spies happen to be in. A little bit of that CK2, I'm going to put my spy master in Constantinople kind of flavor. I'm going to just go grab this to continue with the demo later. Next up, we have court positions. This mod adds 3 court positions and adjusts the Master Assassin. Think of these like the head honchos in your burgeoning criminal underground. They're going to enable the new schemes of the mod. So, fast overview, the Assassin lets you spread plague, the Femme Fatale lets you poison the target's opinion of their liege, or improve your spy network. The Rabble Rouser lets you instigate large peasant uprisings or vassal revolts. We're going to come back to that. And the Smuggler lets you either plan heists or prison breaks. I'm going to switch over to Matilda, and we are going to provoke the vassals of the HRE and see if we can't overthrow the Emperor. Alright, so here we are as Matilda just after assassinating our husband and taking that same criminal underground decision. I'm going to go hire a Femme Fatale and a Rabble Rouser and set them to work Poison Opinion so that we can use that scheme, and Provoke Vassals so we can use that scheme. We're going to be provoking the vassals of the Emperor. And we're going to be poisoning the opinion of his biggest military vassal. So again, poison opinion, it's like sway, except to the negatives for the target's liege. And provoke vassals, if the scheme is successful, we'll provoke the unhappiest vassal into making an independence faction. So let's get those rolling. I'm going to, again, use the debug menu here. Buff these schemes. And populate them with schemers. Just for the sake of pacing. And we're gonna just wait until, look at that, I'm the marshal. Until we've had a poison opinion have the chance to go through, so we can see how it affects things. The reason I'm doing this internally as Matilda is just so we can see the factions menu so you can get an understanding of exactly how the system works. This. I'm gonna wait. And I'll do this again from the perspective of Hungary in a minute afterwards, in brief, so we can see what it looks like if you're destabilizing somebody else's realm. So there's our successful opinion poisoning. Pardon the pink text, it's just because we're in debug mode. So time to provoke the vassals of the Kaiser. See how this goes. This is secret and success, very nice. And so we have this particularly dissatisfied vassal is decided to start up an independence faction as a result. This has been provoked by the scheme. So we can go look at this immediately and see that there's an independence faction. Oh, and immediately our dissatisfied vassal that we've been poisoning the opinion of has been willing to join it, which is great. We can join this ourselves if we want. Probably we'll do that just to speed up their discontentment. And we'll continue to get pop-ups as the faction here progresses. Don't need to deal with any of this. Just wait very impatiently for this ultimatum to be sent. Notice the initially provoked vassal stays in charge. Look at that. They can hate him even more. Always good. This is the pop-up that the vassals are about to send their ultimatum. Look at that. Didn't even have to go to war over it. Oh, we are going to have to go to war for it. Wonderful. And there we go. So we have provoked an independence war in the HRE. This normally isn't possible this quickly. The game inherently has some... You can't start these kind of disillusion factions until a few years have passed. I'm just bypassing that for the sake of demo. So let's see what this looks like when you're not actually inside the destabilized empire instead. Alright, so here we are as Poland. Turns out Hungary has a child ruler at the moment. Exact same schemes as when we were Matilda. I'm going to just fire the vassal provoking now. Same debug super buffed schemers. I'm going to leave this poison opinion rolling just so it eventually makes the faction bigger. So this scheme is generally used for destabilization, as in I'm going to make my neighboring realm try to fracture it a little bit, maybe so I can eat up all the pieces. Which means mostly you don't do this from inside the empire you're trying to destabilize. So we got the word that our scheme was successful, and now the faction is going to be left to its own devices. We'll next be updated when they either fail and disband, or when they succeed and start to send demands to the Empire of the HRE, which might take a little bit. There's a guaranteed timeline that the factions have, such that the liege has time to answer them and whatnot. Oh, but there it is. The vassals are ready to send their demands. Let's see how it goes. Looks like it's full war, and there we go. The HRE, this is the result of our vassal provocation. There's now an independence war going on there that we can get involved in however we see fit. Alright, I'm not going to show any other schemes. I'll let you discover them on your own. I particularly recommend Spread Plague. It's one of my favorites. But there are a couple more odds and ends that I'll show off before I wrap up. Second last decision here. This makes all of our relevant court positions cheaper and more likely to help us, but also gives us the surveil target character interaction, and I'd like to show that to start. So what this lets us do, we're going to first need to get a spy in our Pomeranian target's court here. There we go. And then we will surveil the target. So this is also tracked in the spies menu, and what this does is instead of all of your spies helping you collect secrets in general from wherever they happen to be based, they will help you collect secrets on your specific designated target, at the expense of all else. So you and your spy master are completely unable to get secrets from anywhere else, but every quarter you have this % chance of triggering that event on your target. If they don't have any secrets, you maybe will find that out, maybe you'll still think that they do. Otherwise, you'll actually be able to learn secrets of specific targets, which is otherwise really difficult to do in the game. And lastly, our big capstone decision here. This gives you your house a modifier such that you get renown or whatever other whatever other reward you've picked. It's a game rule. Every time you complete a hostile scheme. But most interestingly is probably the Black Book artifact. If we take this and then we go take a look at our inventory, this artifact lets you inherit secrets. So as long as this is equipped, all of your heirs from all of your spy network secret shenanigans, as you accumulate the secrets, they won't be lost on inheritance. They'll continue being passed along your house as long as your heir is of your house. If you switch houses, it won't carry through with the book. It's purely your house lineage. Alright, the last thing I'm going to go over is an add-on mod for Sabotage and Subterfuge focused on Obfuscation. This iterates on Immersive Realm Espionage and Hide Army numbers, which you may be familiar with. Tweaks them a little bit and incorporates the spy network with them. So as we can see, if I go click on England here, can't see other characters' gold or troop counts. This is done throughout the user interface at a bunch of different levels. There are a number of ways that you can. The primary one, of course, this is a spy-focused mod. You have a spy, there we go, in the target's court, you can see their numbers. Alternatively, let's say I have taken a particular spouse as a lover. See the values here. This is actually tied to a perk modification, Home Advantage. Lovers will now tell you about their spouse's troops. You can also do alliances. Where's my alliance? Let's get yes men in here. And you can see troops. You can also request realm information to bribe people to give you snapshots of troops. Not updated dynamically, but you can see it once. And you can get the same pop-up using your Spy Master's Realm Espionage action, which works in the exact same way. You just pick which area you'd like to go look at. The Hide Army's integration works pretty similarly. Let's just go declare war on somebody nearby. Get our troops raised and start walking over there. This is a game rule. If you don't like this setting, that's totally fine. But as we get nice and close, we'll see we can't see exactly how many troops they have, as you might expect. And the spy network changes are not just for seeing troops that a person might have in total. They'll also show you troops on the map. So if you're going to war in a particularly large area, if I was fighting from one end to the other of Ireland, I had spies halfway through. As those troops moved through areas in which I had spies, I'd be able to see their number, even if I couldn't see it in their home base. So it really encourages developing a wide web of spies, especially if you're going to be doing a bunch of conquering. And that wraps up my presentation. I'm just going to show off the game rules here, because I know some people really care about these. There's another few things the mod adds. You can unfriend people, you can claim bastards into your own house. There's some perk changes. Seducer in general gets buffed a little bit. There are embezzle and ennoble character interactions that you can unlock. And of course, the other schemes that I did not have time to show off today. If you do decide to check out the mod, I hope you have a great time with it and discovering those new schemes and all the funky ways that you can use them. Please enjoy the rest of MODCON. So many people did so much work to put this together, and a huge shout out and thank you to all of those folks for doing so, and to all of you folks for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of the presentations.
Alright, I'm back. Hi everybody. What a wonderful presentation for a wonderful mod that has so many wonderful vocabulary words associated with intrigue. To name a few: skullduggery, rabble-rouser, shenanigan, even sabotage and subterfuge themselves. Such good words, and this is why intrigue is the best lifestyle. Haha. Alright, to reiterate, that was Sabotage and Subterfuge, a mod focused on the fantasy of intrigue, where your house can grow a criminal underground, employ dubious, another good word, dubious, at best court positions to destabilize the realms of your enemies. And there were a lot of questions about it in chat. Hopefully we got to all of them, and if not, there were links sent where you can probably talk about it if you want to. Alright. We've got 3 more. We have 3 more mods coming up. We have Battle for Agatharia. Did I say that right? Agatharia, yes. I promise you I double-checked all these pronunciations and I tried really hard, and today I have completely forgotten everything in my brain. Then we have Radiation Kings, and then we have the 4 Nations with a live interview. And just as a reminder, we are also raising money for charity over on my YouTube page, raising money for preserving video gaming history. I would really love it if we could get to like $1,000. We're at 923 right now. 1,000's a nice round number, you know? Also a lot of money that you can use for various charitable endeavors, I imagine, to, you know, preserve video gaming history, as it says on the tin. We are also running a giveaway for Crusader Kings 3 Chapter 5 keys that are going to be given away before our live interview with the 4 Nations devs. And if you are interested in participating in that, we have a Google form going around. If you submit it multiple times, it'll probably let you, but you're not going to get multiple entries. So, haha, you don't get to scam us that way. Anyway, for Battle of Agatharia, did they respond if I'm saying that correctly, by the way? I don't know. No one did, so I'm just going to keep saying it that way. We have both a presentation and a trailer. So we are going to begin with the presentation. In short, though, it is a story-driven total conversion mod set in a homebrew low fantasy setting led by a single developer. So to start, here is the little presentation for it. Well, not little, but you know what I mean.
So every couple of weeks in the CK3 mod co-op Discord, there's a young and enterprising person, wide-eyed, coming in and asks some surface-level question about how to make their own map in CK3. And what eventually happens is one of the mods will come and then press the command, TC modding, and then out comes the bot, and the bot will tell the uncomfortable truths. It's a chore, it's a big effort. It takes too long, you'll get burnt out. Actually, the bot is correct. It's really difficult. And the reason I know that is because I've done it. I'm in big trouble. So, this is my total conversion mod, Battle for Agatharia. It's been public on the Steam Workshop now for about a year and a half, and I am effectively the single developer. I have wonderfully received assistance from a couple of people in terms of family trees and making a lovely, wonderful 3D model. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. But for the most part, it's been me. I've been doing pretty much everything, and it's been really fun, and I've really, really loved it. So hopefully today I just want to talk a little bit about the mod in general, identify and showcase the key features, and then I'm going to ask for help, because actually I do need help. Oh, the bot is correct. Goodness me. Oh, I've got to swallow my pride and admit it is an awful lot. So let's get into the mod. Battle for Agatharia is set in a homebrew low fantasy early medieval world. It's heavily inspired by a lot of cultures in Western Europe, but I've tried to keep them different and interesting to help it feel fresh and unique. There are different regions that I've developed in the mod, and the first we'll focus on is the namesake of the mod, Agatharia. It's an island, very similar to Britain, to be honest, with inhabitants called Aiglish, not English, very creative, I know. And then Clenmen, who are kind of not Welsh. And then from the north have come these new invaders, the Fjorlings, i.e. not Vikings, and they've taken over a lot of the land, and they're really trying to push into and really control the area. The two main distinguishers of this region are story cycles and then the struggle mechanic. So the first, with story cycles, there are different characters you can play as. There is a co-op story cycle as well, where you can have two players playing together. I think that's really interesting. And of course, that then impacts the struggle. So I've been able to integrate the struggle mechanic for the first time in the mod to be part of the mod in general. And so the way in which this works, you control different regions and then you progress the struggle to your advantage. And this has also been a real chance to really clean up the duchy transfer system. This is something that I introduced from the very beginning to really simulate the tumultuous nature of early medieval Europe, in which duchies can transfer quite easily under kingdom titles. And it's just been really cleaned up. So it all works in tandem with the struggle mechanic. I think it's quite good. I think it's quite fun. I've certainly enjoyed playtesting it, which is a really good sign. So I think the whole region just feels more fleshed out and a bit less cobbled together with with like duct tape or something. So I'm really proud of how it's gone. The second region I'll mention is Danane. Now, the language is very much Danish, but actually the circumstance is in medieval France. I think it's very similar to what was going on there at the time, with a lot of religious fervour, a lot of martial prowess really coming through. And this is definitely represented in the story cycles. For sure, there's a lot of focus on the impacts of religion during this time, of being zealous, but also of effectively might makes right, and the interaction between the two. I think the most interesting story cycle is actually the one in the north of Danane, following Rostock Voxelisk, and he's a part of a group of people that have been pushed to the very margins of Danane. And I think the story around him, I don't want to spoil too much. I think it's really good fun, but definitely leads into a bit more of the fantasy elements of the mod, and has a lot of conquest, a lot of fighting. Really, really interesting, really good fun to create. The two additional regions that I've added recently are Kernoenland and Nessentia. Both are kind of not really finished. I know it's a bit weak to have unfinished things in the mod, but they're there. Nessentia is kind of not Portugal in that sense, with a lot of interaction between the different religious groups and a real desire for some people to really influence over that region. In Kernoenland as well, there are two brothers who will be fighting over their father's kingdom, and that should also be an interesting head-to-head kind of battle. So both aren't really finished. That's definitely the main thing I'll be focusing on next, is trying to bring them up to the quality of Agathari and Danane, but for sure, it's definitely watch a space for something interesting going on there. I've tried to make each and every culture unique in their own separate way. This might well be through men-at-arms, this might well be through decisions. There's a particular group of people called the Dowardane that I've given an activity, which is really fun, I think. It's a bit bonkers. Definitely a lot of fun to make, and hopefully a lot of fun to play. So if you want to give them a go, that's also good fun. So perhaps the most exciting new thing I've added really recently, only in June, is this murder mystery story cycle. I've got a whole trailer talking about that after this, so look forward to that. I just really wanted to get into grips and try and really wrestle with how far we can take story cycles in Crusader Kings 3. In terms of downsides, I started the showcase talking about the difficulty, the well-known difficulty of continuing Total Conversion mods, and absolutely is the case. The mod right now is currently, at least at the time of recording, in version 1.18. That was a mammoth effort to get it updated to that. I've not been able to transfer over to 1.19 as of yet. Of course, I'll try again. But really, what I'm saying here is I need help. I really would love help, and just trying to get the mod to a position where I can say, actually, it is in quite a good state. So if you are willing and able to come and assist, please let me know. Join the Discord. Just announce what you can do, and I'm sure I'll give you something. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope you enjoy playing the mod as much as I did making it. Take care now.
Alright, and then here is the trailer.
5 suspects, 1 murderer, and an eccentric sleuth. Count Matstan Scoutman has a job on his hands untangling the web of lies and deceit that plague his court. Matstan was thrust into rulership, a position he neither wanted nor was prepared for. As a result, his court has devolved into petty backstabbing and intrigue. Not even his own wife affords him any respect. But with the coming arrival of his old friend, renowned sleuth Monseigneur Toupet, perhaps a change in circumstance might play to his advantage. Can you solve the Islechester Inquiry? The Islechester Inquiry is a unique murder mystery story cycle for Battle for Agatharia. It takes place from the perspective of Matstan Scoutman, a craven low noble thrust into position of sleuth's assistant. The story cycle is progressed through events and decisions, making use of 3 custom mechanics: trust, intoxication, and clues. Trust is an indication of how positively different suspects view Matstan, and depending on how high it is, there can be unique encounters and information gathered. Matstan likes to drink, and intoxication represents this. As the story cycle progresses, Matstan will get more and more tipsy, and if he gets too drunk, then he can turn violent and cruel. Critical pieces of information are highlighted as clues, and can be discovered by either the correct interaction, or by investigating different areas of the crime scene. Clues can be viewed later and compared, helping the player discover the true mystery behind the Islechester Inquiry. When playing Battle for Agatharia, you can access the story cycle by pressing the new extra bookmark. I hope you all enjoyed playing. Let me know how you find it either by joining the Discord or by leaving a comment on the Steam page. Thank you all so much. Goodbye now.
Alright, that was Battle for Agatharia, which is a tiny total conversion mod, the developer's mod, words, not mine. The game map is super small, so the mod runs fast. They say speed 5 is seriously fast. It takes place in a fictional, hard fantasy, early medieval world of their own making, inspired by various parts of history. And I saw someone say this in the YouTube chat while the trailer was going on, but I agree, you can really hear just how much passion the developer has for the mod and the story in their voice while they were doing their presentation and the trailers. That was very sick. Thank you, Battle for Agatharia, for sharing your mod with us. And again, if you're interested in checking it out or helping out, check out the links that were sent in both my Twitch and my YouTube chats. Also, that murder mystery story cycle is very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. All right, we have got 2 more mods left. We have Radiation Kings, and we have the 4 Nations, followed by a live interview. And again, I'm just going to keep shilling the same stuff over and over. We're raising money to preserve video game history and to support the Video Gaming History Foundation. We're at $923 US. I would love if we could round it out right at $1,000 to end the stream, and we're getting kind of close to that, so that would be nice. Also, we are doing a key giveaway for keys. If you don't know what that is, by the way, I realize this, no one else, it's basically access to Crusader Kings and the upcoming DLC for free. They'll just send you a little link, you put it into, or a little code, you put it into Steam, you get the game. It's super cool, super easy. If you would like to be a part of that giveaway, they're sending out a form that you can add your username and information into, and I'll put you on a wheel and we'll spin it and we'll see who wins. Now, Radiation Kings. I'm not sure what this next presentation's about, but I'm told it's pretty special.
It does not matter. Victory shall be ours. It shall be swift, and it will be honest. Purchased with blood. Know that I shall return east. I shall not remain there forever. On that day, the strength of the bear shall be tested.
The Ranger vets are on their way from Baja. Never seen one before, but I've heard they chew nails and spit napalm. With them on our side, Caesar won't know what hit him. We've held Hoover Dam twice before. We can do it again. We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
My brothers and sisters are committed to one principal mission: to save humanity from the perversion of technology. By securing these lost relics, We prevent them from falling into unworthy hands, for the surface is chaotic. Its outsiders are hostile. While our numbers dwindle, the circle remains unbroken. We stand firm in the dark.
I have no interest in being loved, nor do I care for the theater of democracy. Committees do not build civilizations, they merely argue over the ruins. For over 2 centuries, I have managed the map of this wasteland. I offer security, industry, and a ticket to the stars. All I ask in return is your compliance.
Howdy, I'm Sheriff, the Development Overseer for Radiation Kings. What you just watched is the first general Man-at-Arms trailer for our starting area, the southwest quadrant of the former United States. This was made possible by a few artists of our new art department. They represent only a quarter of the tremendous talent we've acquired in the past month. In the near future, and up until release, we plan to show off more of these trailers, focused on each of the main factions from Fallout New Vegas. Each custom-made artwork represents a unit in-game that you will be able to recruit and use. To not miss out on that, join our Discord or on our YouTube channel at Radiation Kings to be kept up to date. Now, you might be wondering why we're looking at Jarl Hasting. We at Radiation Kings have a little gift, and while it's not the official release, it's still special. Starting today, you're able to play vanilla CK3 using our rewritten special lifestyle trees. Each lifestyle tree represents a different way to use your skills in a Fallout mindset. At the time of this recording, it may or may not be hooked up to the base attributes for CK3. We're still working on that. It's available today on the workshop and open to testing. And that's the point. Testing. We want to gather feedback from this system and work toward using it for the main mod. This is available for a limited time, as we will not be keeping it up to date after the next major update for vanilla CK3, which should be, by God alone, on September 30th, about 2 months from now. You can find this in the workshop titled Special, Limited Edition. So go out into medieval Europe and become special. Thank you so much for your continued support. Enjoy the rest of MODCON, and remember, war never changes.
My mic was muted. That was Radiation Kings. I know a lot of you are very excited for that. The artwork for that trailer and for the mod itself is phenomenal, and we actually had, I think, one of the artists in the YouTube chat. So congratulations on getting it featured. It looks beautiful. Excellent work. All right, and I have a little closer for you on Radiation Kings. Radiation Kings takes you into the world of Fallout 7 years after the events of Fallout 2 and 33 years before Fallout New Vegas. President Tandy of the NCR is dead, leaving her Vice President, Joanna Tibbett, to take the reins. Will she usher in a new era of prosperity, or will this democracy crumble into ruin? Meanwhile, the followers of the apocalypse send a young Edward Sallow out east to learn from the tribes. What they didn't expect was that the tribes would learn from him, and a new nation would arise from Old World blues. And if you want to learn more, the links are being sent in my Twitch and YouTube chats as well about the Radiation Kings mod team. Thank you very much for sending us your mod to showcase. Congratulations on how awesome it looks. And I've got one more giveaway to do before we can move on to our final mod and our final live interview with the Four Nations dev team. The forum is closed, and I'm going to switch over to it right now. Fallout is another franchise that I've never played before, and all these conversions are making me realize how many more video games I have to play so I can play the total conversion mods and understand what's going on. Okay, here is the giveaway wheel. We have 228 entries. We're going to give away 2 keys. We already have 2 winners. And thank you again to Paradox for providing these keys. Let's spin it. Let's do it. Let's click the mod coin. I can't even see. There's too many names. Hi, underscore 2002. Congratulations, hi underscore 2002. Hi. You win a key to Crusader Kings Chapter 5. So exciting. Congratulations. The MODCON dev team, I don't know if you can call them the dev team, but the MODCON guys will be in touch with you to get you your key. And let me shuffle this a couple times. All right. And the final giveaway winner for day 1 of MODCON 2026 of a Crusader Kings 3 Chapter 5 key is... Again, I cannot see. Nikita Chimkin Nuggets. Woo! The applause does not sound very excited on the website. Congratulations, Nikita Chimkin Nuggets. I hope you guys have fun playing Crusader Kings. Enjoy the DLC. Alright, and thank you again to everybody who participated in this giveaway, and to everybody who is helping to preserve video gaming history. I think Uber, you donated what, like 50 in a currency that I don't remember? We are up to $971, which means we are $29 off of my kind of unofficial goal of $1,000 for the stream to preserve video gaming history. That is being conducted via my YouTube live stream if you want to go check that out and you are from Twitch. Alrighty. We've got one more mod left. And then I'm going to go lay down. We have the Four Nations, which is a mod dedicated to bringing Avatar the Last Airbender into Crusader Kings 3.
Hi, Lord Cohen. How good of you to come all the way from Kyosan. Do sit down. Indulge me in a friendly game of pie show for old time's sake.
I'm glad to have received your invitation. The realm is blessed to have such a courteous ruler.
You may be one of few to deserve such courtesy. The rest are thieves, despots, rebels, and impudent children. There's troublemakers all over the nation, but they'll soon be quelled.
Your reforms thus far have been impressive.
Yes, they're unwashed lords in the hills who still believe their names as permanent as the crags themselves. They'll agree to become governors or be replaced.
A worthy ambition, my lord. Though all too often, men pressed too firmly forget their place. One need only look north.
Or even westward, Lord Cohen. Your little flirtations with the Mountain King have not escaped my notice, I assure you.
And I assure you, Your Excellency, my dealings are entirely in service to the throne.
Your efforts are misguided. The short-sighted peoples, like the Shuri, imagine themselves distinct. They are sorely mistaken.
How so?
One brother is not another, yet both belong to the family. Misguided as these people are, they can be steered to the right path. A protector with my mandate oversees them and reminds them of their place in our family.
There can exist great differences within one family, my noble lord. But like how rich blood calls mosquitoes, efficient administration tends to draw Kiyoshi. When the Avatar is not concerning herself with slaying beasts or settling village feuds, she tends to throw sand in the gears and cogs of state apparatus. Sometimes dramatically so. Qin was not the first ruler she deposed. The aristocrats might know how to flatter her.
Don't call them aristocrats. They're nothing more than vainglorious opportunists, the lot of them. Fretulent lords coalescing around the infant offspring of my bastard brother.
Did you know I've intercepted an envoy those ingrates sent to John Dury? How dare they?
Truly? And there are likely others. Such events have not entirely escaped my notice, my lord. I hear that with the promise of some currency, Lord Jae Song may be convinced to switch alliances.
My half-wit cousin is loyal again? But that promise is not yours to make. I am the Fire Lord. I am the nation.
And I support the nation, my lord, and its rightful rule. But one can argue it needs a leader younger than either of us. Maybe a Fire Lord Jito would be for the best.
And what exactly do you mean by that? I've every bit the strength I did in my youth.
Strength. Real strategy requires cunning.
No! Real strategy requires power!
And so another round of the great game begins.
No way! Absolutely not! I want the release date right now!
Alright, that was The Four Nations, and that is the final trailer that I have to show you guys today. The Four Nations is a total conversion mod based on the world of Avatar, The Last Airbender, and the first chapter, A Broken Nation, is set over 300 years before the events of the Nickelodeon series in the era of the Avatar Kyoshi. It makes the entire Fire Nation playable during a time of intense political turmoil. I know you guys have a lot of questions about this mod, there's a lot of excitement for it, and I have awesome news. I'm going to get to talk to the developers a little bit right now, and if you have any specific questions about the mod, they should be sending out a Google form where you can put questions in it, and I will ask them if I think they're good and I think they're fun. And good news, this time I actually have seen Avatar The Last Airbender, so I'm not going to be like, oh, what's a earthbender? Don't worry. I know this one. I've got this one, guys. Alright, I'm going to get a Discord call with them very quickly. By the way, thank you very much. We reached our goal of $1,000 raised for the Video Game History Foundation. That is so exciting. What an amazing stream this has been. Thank you, guys. Alrighty, I'm going to join their Discord call. Hello?
Hello.
Hi. Let me get everything set up on my stream very quickly.
Yep.
I got a little excited and started talking a bit too soon. I hope I didn't mess things up too much.
We got excited.
Of course. Well, you have a lot of reason to be excited. That trailer was amazing, and your mod is finally going to be released. I understand you've been working on this for a long time, right?
Yeah, it has been a long journey. Or I believe like 2 years now. 2 years, right? Active development, and before that there was a lot of back and forth. It was quite dead at one moment, but we did like a relaunch 2 years ago, and now we are in full swing. By the way, I'm Freistin. I'm the lead artist of the mod. I made some of the illustrations that you saw in the trailer. I saw your kind messages. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, could everyone else go around and also introduce yourself?
Yeah, I will go alphabetically as we organized before the call. I am Keizer Harm, and I am the writer lead on this mod. And I guess I took the screen caps in this trailer, so I can take credit for that part of it. But most of it was Freistin and Vokjan.
All right.
Stocky, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, sure. I'm Stocky. As everyone knows, it's a great pleasure to be here and meet everyone. I'm the script lead and team lead.
Cool. And yeah, and I'm Vogjam. I help Kaiser with writing some of the events, and kind of the designated video editor guy. So I put together the stuff you've just seen with a lot of help from Freistein and Kaiser and Stocky and all the other guys in putting together illustrations and in-game footage and just trying to make our mod look as pretty and shiny as possible.
All right. And I'm Jillian, by the way, if you do not know who I am.
Yeah,
It's
good to meet you.
It's nice to meet you guys.
Hey, nice to meet you.
All right,
I thought you had a different
so
host.
we have gotten a couple questions already. Let me pick one really quickly that I can start with. I'm sorry. I was trying to... My Discord, I'm in streamer mode, so your usernames aren't showing up, so I'm very quickly going to type in and add them on my stream, if you're wondering what's going on over there. There are a lot of questions about the Fire Nation in particular. So how do you plan to simulate the Fire Nation conquests? I see from someone.
Well, the conquests are a little hard because we only have the Fire Nations. So what are they going to conquer? That's the question. We are going to be simulating some pretty deep developments that took place in the Fire Nation because, as you said, we are before the time of the show. We are 300 years before the time when you see West Ang and Oza, etc. So in this time, the Fire Nation is a lot more decentralized, a lot more fragmented, and at a time like the time that our bookmark takes place, literally fragmented. It is in pieces. So what the transition is that our mod is going to show is both how this nation of course reunifies, and this can go under one of two possible claimants, or perhaps more. And it will also evolve into something that is very different and something that is a lot less like a very courteous, meritocratic, efficient society, and something that looks a little bit more like one that might actually do very big conquests.
All right. Anyone have anything to add on that? Or I can move on. We've got a lot of very different questions that I'm going to try and segue into nicely. But nothing?
Yeah, next question.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, so this is perhaps a sillier question, but it's very important to me, one of my favorite parts of the Avatar universe at all. Are there going to be any hybrid animals?
Yeah.
Two specific people right after another asked this question. So
Yeah, I think we've reworked the hunt at least. The hunt so that we all the references to animals in the hunts are now replaced with references to hybrid animals. I think there's an ongoing discussion about what to do with all the references to horses and how we go through the entire game and turn it into ostrich horses.
Yeah, exactly. There is like 2,000 references to horse, and then like you can just copy paste horse, ostrich, horse, but then you get into the grammatical arguments. What do you do with the word horseman? Do you call a horseman an ostrich horseman or an ostrichman? So
the type of questions that we are asking ourselves at 2 in the night.
Yeah, exactly. We have long discussions on this.
Do you want to elaborate? Do you want to elaborate a little bit about what your writing process kind of looks like, how you're sourcing the lore and the information you decide to include?
Yeah, well, it is pretty simple. Anything that was shown in the animated series, so Last Airbender, Legend of Korra, is our highest standard of canon, and we will do our very best to represent it. But that, of course, leaves a lot to be filled out. Like, we have to make religions and ask yourself, how often do you see people pray in the animated series or do religious rituals? It is a little bit fleshing out you need to do, but that's a lot of fun doing. And then besides that, besides the shows, there's a lot of secondary canon. There is books, there is games, there's various games, mobile games. There's now a fighting game. I still haven't, I have yet to look into that, but maybe we'll use some of that. But like for what is not in the animated series, we hold the right to choose. We'll try to use it, and like our bookmark setup is a direct continuation from the second Kiyoshi book. So if you have read the book, you will get something out of it. You will know, oh, those characters are the same ones I know. But if you have not read the book, you will hopefully also be able to follow it.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was feeling a lot of similarities with what the guys on the Dragon Age mod were saying in that we've set it in a period quite detached from what you would see in the series, so it gives us a lot of room to flesh out some sort of very lightly touched on references and ideas. Like we've got there's a whole family built from, God, I don't know if people remember this, Nickelodeon I think once did a rerun of the show where they had like Avatar facts, and one of the Avatar facts was Komodo rhinos were tamed by the Fozel family, and it's like, oh, so we built off an entire family down south who used to be the previous Fire Lord. So there's enough canon for us to sort of start building ideas, but then enough wiggle room for us to add our own writing and stuff like that. So it's a nice mix. I think setting it was it 300 years before the show gives us a nice amount of leeway to be creative, but stick to something that's recognizably Avatar.
Very fun. It sounds like you guys have a lot of fun putting all of that together. And I'm sure as we're seeing, I remember to open the stream in the Discord call that I'm in. We're seeing the map looks absolutely wonderful. All the different coats of arms and cities and such.
Yeah, the map is the map's Freisteins, baby. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, feel free.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Thank you very much. We started with like I call it a rendering process. Like we started with a very broad overview, and then we went in like these nitty details. We divided the map up into multiple regions, and then like the writing department and me as like the main map creator, we work together to like see, hey, okay, we know from like the show there are certain parts, how they look, what is the feeling, but okay, now we have to expand this into like to the north, to the south. We have to add all these details, like these mountains, these swamps, and then with every week, with every month, we added more and more layers of details on top of that. There was some great help with thinking about like the cultures of especially Japan, and like, okay, for example, my pet projects, the Ainu inspired Yutari in the Western Highlands. I mean, you can show them. And then I was like, okay, I was looking for photos of these mountainous regions and got inspired by them, and then I painted all these cool mountains for my little Utari people to live in. And and they are getting quite oppressed at the moment by that hydro dam over there. And there will be some cool storylines revolving around that. For example, so I hope that we see in future shows more from the Fire Nation on the one side, so I have more ideas what to put into our mod. On the other hand, I quite like a lot of other the like fan-made places, like the Jetta Valley that you are showing there, and like with the enormous geyser in the middle. And if they show something in the next TV show where we know, oh, that's not true, I would be a little bit, yeah.
I mean, the next TV show is set after a great apocalypse, so actually we have I think we get a pass on whatever we make.
Yeah, good. That is the great thing with being in a setting in the past. But I mean, like we had with the books, there was some misunderstandings because I hadn't read some of the books, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. This island is cool. I was painting something, I was putting something there, and then the lore people were like, no, that's absolutely stupid. The look at the books. They don't say that. The island is looking very different. And I was like, but I like my little island. and then I had like I had to move it somewhere else, and yeah, we took a lot of freedom in designing, especially like the periphery of the island with the southern island chains, and they are not, I believe, mentioned in the
They are
lore
from one
very
of the
much.
books as well. And the also part is that we have, so like they are from the first Roku book, and they are heavily based on the Philippines, which is also interesting. That's like a culture that's also in the East Asian sphere, but it was not like very explored. So we actually have one Filipino team member who went and joined and said, "Hey, let me work on those islands."
Yeah.
And so yeah, we've got a big kingdom, and they've got lore, they've got characters, they've got a religion, and like that's what makes this setting so rich, because we learn about things that we did not know about.
That's wonderful. One of the questions we got is kind of related to that. The question was specifically, how do you make the choice when to base parts of the Fire Nation on Japan and on Korea? And I would expand that to include, are you using any of the All Under Heaven mechanics here? That was a lot of questions at the same time, sorry.
I don't want to keep being the only one talking, but I did work on this, so I will take up airspace for
Go
one
ahead.
moment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. All Under Heaven was really funny in the sense it was a blessing and a curse. It gave us a lot to work with. It also gave us a lot that we had to reel to the Fire Nation. Like, to go into a history tangent for 10 seconds, the story of Japan during the CK3 time frame. So like that's the whole Ritsuryo Soryo distinction you see, is to go from a meritocratic society into a kind of feudal military shogunate. And the Fire Nation went in the other direction, because we have in canon a transition from a feudal society into a bureaucratic one. So we cannot copy-paste Japan government and we're done. I mean, it would have saved me a lot of time, but no, that's not going to work. So we have, yeah, I cannot even reveal everything right now, but we have a custom administrative government for them. And it is incorporating several different elements from All Under Heaven. It's also incorporating some elements from, actually from Roads to Power, from the Byzantine government as such. It takes a lot of the tools, and then also a lot of the tools that the pieces that All Under Heaven gave us. Also, like a lot of the clothing. For the clothing, we went pretty much take.
Yeah, the clothing was awesome.
I really
That
liked
was
it.
extremely helpful. For the rest, we really put it together from the tools that the DLC gave us, but we did not outright use any government type directly for the Fire Nation.
I see. How is it that you guys decided to start with the Fire Nation and work with the Fire Nation?
Yeah, that was a question that we already had last year. We
watch last year's stream. We're not going to do it
yeah,
again.
go back and watch last year's stream. No, to make it short, we had to ask ourselves, okay, we are a small team. We cannot do the entire map in one go. We start with one focused region, and the Fire Nation was the idea picked because the Earth Kingdom is like continent size. It's way too big. It's way too various in their culture. The north and southern water tribes, I mean, they are on the opposite side of the world. How do you make a coherent playable map out of that? And the air nomads are an absolute nightmare in terms of gameplay and game design. So the Fire Nation was a really obvious place to start. It's an geographical area, it's cultural distinct, you can work with it, you can make great advertisement with it, because like the Fire Nation has some unique stylistic elements to it that is recognizable. Yeah, as I mean, the people are watching right now, so they recognize the Fire Lord in this cool outfit, etc. So yeah, that was like the Fire Nation. To the question related to that, I saw in the chat what part will be next. First, we have to finish the Fire Nation. We want to make it deep, coherent, and then we will focus our attention a little bit further to the east. Yes,
North,
east.
okay.
East,
Yeah.
northern
northeast,
part.
yeah.
Taking a big
Yes,
chunk out
all-
of the Earth Kingdom. Yeah.
Yeah, but that is like something for the future.
Of course. You have a lot going on already without adding in whole other
Yeah,
cultures.
yeah.
All right. I immediately just blanked on what the next. Okay. a lot of people, Kyoshi is a fan favorite, or Kyoshi is a fan favorite. Someone wants to know if you can romance the avatar. And I will add on to that. What are the other kinds of interactions?
You know, that is the most common question we get,
Yeah.
like the single most common
Called
one.
it.
All the
To
time.
expand on it, though, and give you more than just yes or
Bingo.
no, what are other interactions you can have with the avatar as a character?
Oh well, you can try and romance the avatar. It probably won't go very well. She's in a happily committed relationship already. But we've been working on interactions with the avatar, sort of coming to your part of the Fire Nation, and there's a whole set of interactions where the avatar will interact with you indirectly, like Kyoshi's just passing through, and you will get updates on what she's doing, whether she's taking on everyday tasks, going kind of like village to village, like you would see in the show, and just getting into adventures and what impacts that has on your region. But then also, if you get on the wrong side of the avatar, she will turn up at your court and make certain demands of you. I think ultimately, if you really get on her bad side, you can basically lose your title to her. She can completely strip you of your title, but up until that point, there are plenty of concessions she will ask of you, making donations to people, sort of like giving up claims that you might have, conceding wars that you might be in against the neighboring ruler. So it's a nice balance to strike of having this super powered cop just sort of like walking from town to town, keeping you in check, but also giving you as a player enough agency that you're kind of looking over your shoulder. But if you play it right, you can get away with things and still play CK3 as let's face it, most people play CK3 to go to war and and take over as much land as possible. So it's a nice balance to strike, and I think it's going to add a whole other element to players, that there is always going to be a bigger, more powerful person on the map who is kind of looking over you and just making sure you're on the right side of the politics.
So
basically
when you say...
a Discord moderator. The avatar starts, by the way, on Jito's island, if you want to show that. Yeah. And
then
can you
there's a
zoom in?
landless map mode.
Yeah. You'll have to do landless map mode on the... Yeah.
Yeah. Landless.
Lamps.
Lamps.
Yeah.
No,
It's
left.
on the left.
Go to the top.
Up.
Above.
Yeah.
One down.
One down.
Yeah. There she is. There she
Yeah.
is. In
Wow.
all her glory.
Yeah.
Very cool. When you say get on her wrong side, that would be not complying with the kind of demands that she asks of you? Or how would you piss her off?
Yeah, there's a button, like we have made kind of a villainy score for different rulers, and we do want to try to make this at least as close to like more we don't want avatars to be totally infallible. Like they should be different. They should have different personalities. Like not all of them. Like for example, an air nomad avatar might not like that you eat meat, whereas Kyoshi might be a lot more tolerant of using force to get justice, as it is. So yeah, we've made a tyranny score, and that score is based on doing something that are objectively unjust, like doing like actual conquest war, murder plots, feuds, claims. And then depending on her personality, it depends on what she will be most offended by. And then when she actually shows up, then again, depending on personalities of the persons involved, you can make concessions that appease the avatar of the time.
There are a lot of questions about the avatar cycle and what would happen if Kyoshi were to die, or if he were to or if she were to be killed by, say, a player character. How would that work?
Ooh, yeah, I can answer this one. So we do have full screen events for this. For say if an avatar dies, there'll be a full screen event that says, "Hey, the avatar's dead. Kyoshi, best of your memory," and it kind of goes into detail. And regarding the avatar cycle, yes, there is avatar reincarnation, and we have a game rule. that allows for canon avatars to be born. It's all up to the player, of course. If they don't want canon characters like Roku to be born into the next cycle, that's something it's fully customizable as per the player wishes. Once an avatar dies, they'll be reincarnated into the next nation of the cycle, and just on and on.
I always find it funny. That's the second most common question we get.
Yeah.
What happens when the avatar dies? And I feel like, look, the intro narration of the show tells you exactly what happens when the avatar dies. You're reincarnated. It's the next element. Like, this is not hard.
Yeah.
I think we've got them canon up to Korra. I guess we might have to add
Korra.
Harvey is a new one. We might have to get on that.
Yeah.
We'll wait until the show's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go to the courtrooms, maybe. That is maybe something the people want to see in the stream. Maybe the brutal court of the Fire Lord. Oh, yeah, there he is, sitting on this throne, plotting the reconquest of his nation like the real bad guy he is.
That looks very cool.
I saw a teaser of that, and then I said, I have to join the team. This is so amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, I played a little bit with the court mechanics, and you have now for the kings a new artifact type, the court corona. That's basically your symbol of power in your court. Some of them will be legendary, like this one. It's a cool background history story behind this, and you could steal the dragon basically from the court, from the Fire Lord. He will be very angry about it. He gets a war goal, especially. Like he is the Mountain King, King Goro, the vengeful spirit. And that's cool. Oh, and cool mechanic, to brag a little bit here.
Please do.
The wall in the background, it changes color, depends on your coat of arms, which is a really nice mechanic from the base game, and I don't know why the developers don't implement that more often.
I had no idea.
Makes every room a little bit more unique. Go to Longshan. There's also that's awesome.
Yeah, we use some assets from the discarded Chinese throne room. That's one.
Very cool. All right, I don't know, we could talk forever. I don't know how much longer you guys want to stay in this call with me for. But to wrap up, kind of closer towards the end of it, do you want to talk a little bit more about bending as a mechanic and what that looks like for the player character or for rival characters?
Well, that's hard to answer quickly, because bending is a lot of things. It is, on the one hand, like a personal martial art. It is like a self-defense technique, so like you can imagine, like it exists materially to a roller, like, oh, I am walking through a dark hallway, but I know how to firebend, so I will just make a light for my hand, so like in those little ways it affects you. But that is of course something that we can like simulate with some altered event text. There's a couple travel events that's different depending on whether you are a firebender or not, so like that's the minor stuff. The major stuff is, well, pursuing to become a very advanced bender and doing stuff with it. It is like hard to really summarize, but there is a lot of different bending techniques and abilities that are spread over the map, over the different cultures. You can learn those individual abilities if you have the skill and the temperament for it, and you might be able to use those abilities in, well, I don't want to say too much because it's not actually implemented yet, but I swear, I give my blood, sweat, and tears for it, bending duels by release date. There, I promise you guys, now you have to.
It's official, okay, guys, 100% official. 100%.
I said it on stream, now you must give me as much time as I want to.
Everyone's gonna jot that down.
Oh, I see somebody.
Agni Kais.
Yeah, that's the thing. They are Agni Kais when they are between two firebenders, but when they are between any other combination, they are Lei Tais. See, I have read the books. There's a different name for them, but we call them bending duels in general. But of course, we will only have firebending for relics.
Yeah, we can probably show like the bending skill.
Yeah, you can if you select a bender. Is
Yep.
there another one there?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
click the.
No,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
He's
not.
You can switch to Urk-Tai if you want, like full.
Oh yeah,
band
he's a more advanced bender. So yeah, that
Yeah, yeah.
shows off again. Work in progress. We have not put this in a great. Like we'll probably write a dev diary about it at some point, but yeah, lots of different individual abilities and techniques, and you need to learn of them, and then you need to master them. And knowledge and mastery are two separate things. And
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
then click
where you
is.
yeah. And so where do you get knowledge that ties into the scroll economy, because bending scrolls gives you knowledge, and so on. There's a lot of separate features to hopefully make it all one very nice and immersive whole.
Yes. It's very beautiful. I like all those little icons there to represent each of the different skills. I don't know if you would call them that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
All right, cool. So
click
we've
on-
got is there more that you want to talk about with bending?
So much, but
No.
there's
Yeah,
too much
there's
for
a
this.
lot, but
for now-
watch the last trailer. Yeah.
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 All right. Do you just want to? This is the perhaps easiest and hardest question before we wrap up. What is your guys' favorite parts of this mod, or the part that you're the most excited for people to experience?
Ooh.
You have to pick one, and you have to go now.
Oh, well, I'll go with, just because it's something I've already talked about, so it'll be nice and fast one. Just the avatar being in the world, I think, is so cool as like a concept, and just having them just turn up in your part of wherever the duchy or kingdom you're ruling, and just making a mess, like not being the most powerful person in your own kingdom, I think is a really cool idea. So, and I got to write a bunch of the events for that, so that's what I really like at the moment.
The fully animated intro that every time you start a new campaign will play with the correct, hopefully correct subtitles introducing you into your play session. It will be awesome.
A lot of I'm fond of. I think what comes to mind now is the G2 events. I think that's just like a sweet little story cycle, and I hope that I get a lot of players who start as her and actually win the war, because I have not managed to do that just yet myself.
All right. That's one too.
Soki?
For me, I'd say kind of a niche thing, but the Koan contracts. They're really cool system using contracts to kind of sway the war. On one side, using diplomacy, negotiation, and it's not like a huge feature, but it's still something I'm really proud of, and it's really nice.
That's good. I like that your favorite is a very niche thing. I mean, I don't think there's any incorrect response to what is your favorite part of the mod, but it's cool that it's a unique system like that maybe not every player will even encounter. But all right, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about before we wrap up?
Probably
Join the Discord.
Yeah, join the Discord if you want to be
Join the
part of it.
team.
There's a subreddit as well. We've got a YouTube channel where we will be re-uploading the trailer you've seen, and there's also the even longer trailer from last year. So yeah, that's probably all we want to say, other than I guess thank you, Jillian, for hosting day one of MODCON, because
awesome.
You've been incredible. All the mods have been incredible.
Thank you so much. It was really fun.
Yes. All right. I'm going to wrap up on my end very quickly, close out a couple more donations, talk a little bit. I don't know if I'm meant to do this, but I'm going to anyway. Thank you guys very much for talking with me, and congratulations on the upcoming release. I can tell how much work went into this mod, and it's been wonderful to hear you guys talk about it.
December winter solstice.
Ah.
Yes.
Let's go. And
Exactly.
donate to the charity. Donate to the,
Yes.
the Save Video Game Fund.
Yep.
I can't remember the exact name, but yeah, donate to that.
Dare you.
All right. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for talking with me. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Alrighty, let me switch on over. I have no idea if they wanted me to do this little outro segment or if they just wanted me to end it there, but whatever, I'm gonna do it anyway. Thank you guys very much for coming to the first day of MODCON 2026. This was such a unique experience for me. I'm so glad that I got to be a part of this and that I got to show off all of these amazing mods and all of the amazing trailers that the developers produced for them. I believe I said this at the beginning of the stream, but it truly is such a cornerstone of the Paradox community, modding, and it has been surreal to be able to speak with the actual developers who are creating these mods, see their little processes and talk to them about how they want to showcase them. And it really means so much to me, both as a content creator and a player of Paradox Games, to see all the love and care that goes completely unpaid into the mod development process. So thank you again to Paradox as well for providing us with game keys that we were able to give away. And thank you guys for helping us raise over $1,000, $1,078 to be exact, to support the Video Game History Foundation. If you would like to continue making donations over there, that is happening on my YouTube page. It should be below the live chat. Or if you want to support one of the other hosts' charity fundraiser, MODCON is going to be going on all weekend. Let me see. All right, I don't have a graphic for it, but tomorrow it will be starting at Tarkus's channel at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Central European time, and he's going to be showing off mods not only for Crusader Kings 3, but also for Victoria 3, and he might have some EU5 mods. I'm not 100% sure. Then it's going to go to Midgeman's channel. Midgeman is going to do EU5 mods, CK3 mods. Actually, I think tomorrow he's just doing EU5. And then Sunday we have Generalist and Midgeman again. If you want more information about MODCON, you can head to the MODCON Discord server or their website, modcon.xyz. And I think that's all I've got. Oh, actually, just kidding. If High_2002 is here, can you please join the MODCON Discord or contact the MODCON people on Discord so you can get access to your Crusader Kings 3 Chapter 5 key? They would like to give it to you since you won the giveaway, but they can't find you. Other than that, thank you so much to the MODCON guys for having me this year. This was... I don't think you guys understand how much work goes into corralling all of these mod developers together and making their trailers and making sure there's no copyrighted music in them. It is a full-time job, and I can't believe these guys aren't getting paid for it. And that's all I've got today. A lot of people subscribed to me over on Twitch, and I appreciate it. I got some raids. I feel bad that I didn't acknowledge them, but that's how this stream was. So hopefully I will see you at the next day of MODCON, and if not, I hope you play some of the mods that we showed off today. All right. I don't know how to close this. I'm going to just end it. All right, bye.